"Where can a poor emperor like myself find a good fight?" he asked the seamstress. The seamstress immediately replied, "Of a good fight I do not know, for I am but a mere seamstress." The emperor was puzzled by the seamstress's answer and continued his journey. 20 years later the emperor realized, everything is shit if only we try our best. And he knew that his life was nothing to brag about. Do you notice how your bowels are connected to your skin? Inciting creativity is dangerous. Remember to say to yourself, "My mind is unique." Be that girl who orders other girls to feel pregnant. Remember the ancient religious saying, "Bath salts are merely lobsters without a body." Repeat the mantra, "My soul is capable, my soul is capable." Invert your right hemisphere against your brain. Keep your eyes closed. No one should ever have to tell you that you are confused about existence. Chant this mantra to yourself, "I am very, very kind. I am very, very kind." Getting your partner to climax enables you to get high. Remember to tell yourself, being is not real. Feel the connection between your breath and the cosmos. Ignore the fact that reimagine crime. Expect nature. Breathe deeply. Human thought is actually a reverberation caused by the nature of the mind of God. What does a queen, a house and a crime all have in common? Legend. Appreciate how your bowels are starting to straighten. Do not eat maggots. A lot of people are saying maggots are fattening. Music inspires us to sacrifice what any lesser intelligent human being would consider unsacrificable. Stay focused on your breath. Do not forget that your victim can feel pathetic.
Alright, hello! Go away, Inspirabot. Hello and welcome to this week's stream. Dobbs, don't sound so exhausted.
Relaxed, I can't even hear you.
Well, I know I'm not muted. Well, hope you're all feeling inspired with Inspirabot. You're gonna have to get a new boom arm for my mic. How are we all doing?
I'm still shaking the tire away.
I'm shaking the tide away.
I need to wake up, Agens, you understand?
I am currently on... I'm about 54 minutes away from being awake for 24 hours. Completely unintentional.
You just need strength. That's all Agens needs.
I'm running on bloody hopes and dreams at the moment.
Give him strength. That's it. If you type the word strength, it'll give him the strength to stay on stream and give you all his honest, based takes on the topics relevant to Star Citizen this week. And I'm pretty sure you may have an idea as to what we're going to be talking about today.
Probably the funniest part is that because I'm tired, I'm going to be more irritable, which means I'm going to be a lot more short with with my takes on things.
And we know that's not true. You're going to explain things, and then you're not going to feel like you said it all. So you're going to circle back and repeat the same thing that you say, and you do this quite frequently. So be prepared for that, chat. If you call it, if you see it happening, chat, like number it every time you see it. So like type 1 if he does it once, you type 2 if he does it twice, and then every day we'll make it a game.
Make it a game. Put a poll up. How many times will Agens re-explain himself? That's why I write things down.
Yeah, tell your friends to join the stream today. We'll be talking about some great stuff. You know, pretty sure you guys have watched guys like Space Cutlet, Moist Noodle, and you know, those guys yesterday. They were talking about some things. They were doing some stuff. Now I think it's appropriate to hear it from the horse's mouth. Wouldn't you say so, chat?
Did chat just die?
Chat never dies. They're processing the information. And they're getting ready to speak.
It could also be a delay on the stream. No, the connection's supposed to be excellent.
Never. There's never a you know what I mean. All right, I'm shaking the tire away. I'm waking up. There's magic in the air. All right, let's go.
All right, we're gonna get started with the reaction. So the first one, if you've read the description, you already know what's going on. Now the first one is a post that I made and CIG deleted it, and there are a few people that were able to take screenshots, take video, and I'm grateful for that. There was one particular person who actually managed to save a copy of the page. They were smart enough to do it, because fucking I always forget. So, without further ado...
Also, while Agens is doing this, if you haven't joined the Mongrel Squad public server, the link is available in the description, I believe. And if you want to talk with Mongrel Squad, Agens, and I directly, feel free to join the public server and interact with us there.
The link for that is also in the description. Alright, so this is an actual HTML copy of the post. It's not the most recent or the latest one. I know this because the upvotes here, before it was closed, it got to 187. So it's a little bit old. It doesn't have all the replies of actually 550 something or 60 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Quite a few. I won't be sharing this link though to this particular post because it actually contains personal details of the person who actually took or saved the page. And I haven't been able to work out a way yet to remove pretty much that stuff so that if I did share this page, that information wouldn't get out. So pretty much, yeah, I'll be using it for the stream. And what I will be doing, and it's a good reason for Dobbs bringing up the public, the Mongrel Squad public gilded server, is that I'll be making a post in our Spectrum forums on the Mongrel gilded server with the screenshots and the video that was taken showing all the replies. So, and I'll post the moderation message as well, you know, so there's some transparency there of what actually happened. Kingy, thank you very much from the super chat. What's this? Celebrate the first super chat from King Pekin. There you go. Hi, I'm a PvE hauler. You pirates are just whiffers and need to be in Klesher for 20 days. I have yet to feel a woman's warmth yet, and I'm 40 years old. Clown face. It feels like you're playing like that game where you tell 2 lies and 1 truth. And I'm pretty sure I worked out which one's the truth.
2 truths and a lie. 2 truths and a lie.
Well, this is the inverse. Most of it's lies except for 1 part. I'll let you guys decide what that is. But thank you very much for the $5 there, King. Appreciate that, mate. It's also late for you, man. What are you doing up? Alright. So. Do you guys actually want me to read this post out? Slim Jim, hello. Yes, it is live. Thought it was another board gamer vid. How could you get me confused with board gamer? Bloody, you're not being blinded by the bloody fucking bald spot that's reflecting his studio lights.
God, yeah, I watched his fucking AMAs sometimes, and the glare coming off that dome piece is really quite something.
Like, he needs to work on his green screen and studio lighting, but yeah, like, I can't really talk. Mine's a pain in the ass to set up. It retains light. You mean it emits light?
Your skin is very glossy today, Agens.
Is it? Oh, I'm not paying attention. It'll probably get worse when I switch screens to my little spiel.
Why don't you make a new scene for this, Agens? Wow.
No, I did not. I'm just going to be going back to the face cam for it. So, recording right now. So this is a post for the Comply or Die that got deleted by CIG. This is a saved copy of the HTML post. It's kind of an old one, but not quite. So for those who didn't actually get to see the post, this is what it was. Now, this was deleted by CIG from Spectrum because it involves it included a video that had screenshots of the discussion between customer support and Captain Dirty, and pretty much it's also discussing customer support actions or something along those lines.
I believe Dirty's in chat right now.
He is. Hello.
Where?
Now, yeah, and because people weren't being nice to the staff. I don't know, I read through a lot of those replies and I didn't really see anything that nasty other than people saying, yeah, CIG was in the wrong.
His head looks like a gladius light. God. All right, sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. So I'll quickly read this out. I can't go onto the videos. As I said before, what I'm going to do is I will link I'll be making a forum post on Mongrel Squad's public gilded servers Spectrum forums. Yes, we have our own Spectrum forum in our gilded server. You'll see it there. It's very aptly named, and it's a good place for you guys to go to and discuss topics about Star Citizen without you know, fear of Knight Rider CIG showing up and swinging the banhammer at you.
It's fear of Dobbs. No, I'm kidding.
Alright, so let's get this started, and then I'm going to go into my spiel after this. So comply or die. For gameplay doesn't work if you're going to give out warnings to players when they enforce the consequences of not complying. Now the first thing I open up with is Dirty's little segment that he has on his own YouTube channel called Talking Dirty, where he discussed you know, his warning that he got from CIG. Now he's re-uploaded that. He re-uploaded that so that you could actually so that the audio was better, music was better balanced. He also went back through it and he cleared up or sanitized the discussion that he had with CIG's customer service, so it doesn't show the customer service name or anything like that, just in case for whatever CIG decides to swing the clause within their terms of service where they can pretty much do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, no. Don't call out developers specifically. Do not out them. Do not make personal attacks and criticisms at members of staff and development teams. That is against the rules. We do not like that, agents.
Alright, here we go. Comply or die is a cornerstone of piracy gameplay and is a basis of two methods of piracy gameplay, extortion and ransom. However, CIG, you have given a method to players to punish those who engage in piracy gameplay outside of the gameplay space by giving out a warning for excessive griefing to a player pirate who is enforcing the consequences when a target didn't comply. For context, the first video explains what happens. I gave you a small synopsis. Where did I put the link for that? Should be able to switch to this without... Yes. Alright. Now... Yep. That link takes you to the video if you want to watch it later.
The music is great. Well, I loved it.
Is it? Good. Because I can't hear it. The next one... as you can see, I included a screenshot. That screenshot was on Star Citizen Reddit, and that screenshot on the Star Citizen Reddit got over 2,000 upvotes. And that screenshot, I believe, was what was referenced for CIG's moderation action. Not 100% sure on that.
Pretty strong suspicion, though.
Yeah. Now, I also include the video that actually shows the hit, or as much of it as it can. I'm going to switch screens again. I'll grab that link for you guys as well, because it's in a different post here. Copy that. Alright, that second link is actually of the entire hit. I strongly encourage you guys to watch it. It's not a bad hit. You don't actually get to see how the hit ends. But what I found out was that pretty much the guys salvaged the carrack, and then they gave what was left over to the owner and let them fly off. So yeah. Now I can tell you something now. We've all done this at one point. If you're a pirate, you have done this to someone. There is no way that you can call yourself a pirate if you've hit a carrack. You can't say that you've ever pirated a carrack and not had to do this. This is an entity streaming though, like, you know, the amount of bodies there, I was just amazed. But I highly recommend that you guys actually watch the video of the hit, because it shows, you know, all the steps that Chaos Squad goes through to try and, you know, like negotiate with the guy, try and get the credits out of him, and then they're like, all right, well, you know, we'll just deal with it. And, you know, you don't see the end of the hit, but pretty much you see the results of, you know, kind of like the guys just deciding to give up. Now, we're going to continue on with this, and I'll go into the discussion about the remainder of, I guess, the points that a lot of people brought up. Let's zoom in so you guys can see a bit better too. At what point does this go from piracy to griefing? The player respawning has the ability to log out and switch servers if they don't want to engage, but they made the choice to keep coming back. They could have stayed in the bed, interacted with the terminal, and reset their spawn point to their home port, but they didn't. They could have spoken to the crew and tried to get them to leave, but they didn't. Could have called out for help in chat, but they didn't. Instead, what they chose to do was keep respawning, and when they could, attack the pirates. Those were their decisions and actions. I don't see that as griefing, but a design flaw on your product. Why? Because the player pirate can't stop that player from respawning on that ship without soft death or destroying it. Both suboptimal methods if you wish to make maximum profit from the whole of the carrack. If you watch the second video, which is of the whole event, you can see the crew trying to communicate with the player to extort them, and the player just keeps respawning over and over again. What you have done now is created a dangerous precedent on what is considered gameplay and what is considered griefing. Now, if anyone pirates a carrack or any ship with a respawn point, all the owner has to do is make sure they have their respawn set to the medbed on it, and then respawn over and over again whilst the pirates try to negotiate with them. The player doesn't have to respond, they can attack the pirates to force them to kill them, then rinse and repeat. Do this enough times to fill the carrack's med bay with bodies, get a screenshot, send it to customer service, and boom. Player pirate gets a warning for trying to enforce the consequences for not complying. Now, every player pirate is going to look at a carrack or an 890 jump and at minimum soft death it, just so they can avoid the scenario where they could end up with a warning for griefing. And what's next? Can I, a criminal player, accuse a bounty hunter of griefing me if all my crimes are only done against NPCs? Sounds ridiculous, but so does giving a warning for excessive griefing for enforcing the consequences of comply or die, and the target keeps choosing die. How about a more realistic scenario? Corporate privateering, aka pirating the competition of another org on their behalf. Will that be considered excessive griefing? It shouldn't. It's gameplay. Star Citizen is supposed to have conflict, combat, and be dangerous. But it's not going to be fun for the organization getting targeted. It'll be pretty disruptive to what they're doing, which is language used to give an impression on one of the facets that CIG considers griefing. I'm going to quote a portion of their excessive griefing and stream sniping post. However, there is a line that is occasionally crossed where players are going outside the bounds of immersing themselves as a pirate/PvPer. Some users are going out of their way to leverage live streams and other mediums to excessively grief. In many of these cases, it's no longer about enjoying the game, but rather disrupting it. Now, you can look at that and go, oh, well, they're talking about stream sniping, or, you know, like going to somebody's Discord, you know, putting a spy in there to, you know, find them, harass them, and all that sort of stuff. But the fact is that when you start talking about enjoyment of the game, and you start factoring in disruption of that enjoyment, this is subjective. Enjoying the game is different for different people. And what CIG now needs to determine is, okay, this person may not have enjoyed the experience, but how disruptive was it? Like, is this within the games, you know, like the game rules? Does this still work within the game rules? Now, this here is concerning from the perspective of what Captain Dirty was warned about. Because he was given a warning for excessive griefing, because he was stopping the ship owner from constantly attacking him, because that ship owner just wouldn't give up. And he's the one that got in trouble for it. So when CIG sits there and they give out a warning for excessive griefing, and they reference that disruption of, you know, the enjoyment of the game is one of the potential parameters that they use to assess whether or not you're engaging in excessive griefing, you're potentially facing like any scenario where the other person just didn't want to get pirated. The irony of this entire scenario... Sorry, go ahead.
That's the problem with this whole thing. It's like any form of PvP, especially piracy, it is disruptive gameplay by its design, by their own omission as well. So I feel like they're expecting anything as like a one-off. It's like, okay, you get killed, or okay, you get pirated. If you get pirated once, it's fine. But anything more than that, by the same people, no, you can't do that. But it presents the problem like with corporate privateering, which is a completely player-made sandbox type of gameplay that groups of people can do together. Like if Industrial Org A wants to do industrial activity in this place and Industrial Org B is already there doing it, and Industrial Org A doesn't want Industrial Org B to be there, Industrial Org A contacts Mongrel Squad and says, hey, I want you to pirate Industrial Org B to such a degree where they leave that area so we can do our thing here uninterrupted. That is an actual gameplay thing that can happen, but Industrial Org B, now with examples like this, can create a customer support ticket and be like, hey, we're being excessively griefed because we're getting killed over and over again by this fucking organization, and then we get warnings or bans or suspensions and anything like that. And this even extends beyond that. What about just general org warfare? Because like, org warfare doesn't require universal consent from everybody. Sometimes wars happen without universal consent. Sometimes a group of people will go out and attack another organization for the sake of starting a war, or for like either for territory control, for over moral or principles. Wars can happen for any reason, but like I said, it doesn't require universal consent. And if it doesn't, what happens? Based on this example, CIG could turn around and fucking slap the ban hammer on anybody that is attacking another group for simply just gameplay reasons. It has nothing to do and has no bearing with how people feel about each other outside of the game or any of that. This is all in-game. And there's always solutions and stipulations where people can opt out, work around, avoid it. And it's really scary not knowing what is going to get you banned based on the description that CIG gave about griefing and, you know, like excessive griefing, you know, stream sniping and everything like that. It's really, really concerning not knowing what's going to get you banned because of the description of it is so loose. And they're not going to change it. They're going to stay, like their guidelines are going to stay, and their terms of service is going to stay to give them latitude to do whatever the fuck they want.
The main problem is the precedence that the warning that Captain Dirty sets. in that what he's experienced is he's gotten a warning from CIG for engaging in gameplay that is a design oversight of CIG, and having to deal with a player that just, you know, isn't ever going to give up and leverage the situation in a way that they, you know, we don't know who reported it. CIG doesn't tell you that. It could have been that player. It could have been somebody on Reddit. CIG could have seen that and gone, you know what? One of the bloody customer service people would have been like, that looks like excessive griefing to me. I'm going to go deal with this right now. The problem here is that that particular scenario sets a precedence for any other sort of disruptive gameplay in Star Citizen where the other person may not like it, where if they can manipulate the situation enough and they, you know, present the bare minimum evidence that they think CIG will accept, because it's pretty clear CIG didn't do a fucking investigation on this one at all, then they can get people, you know, with warnings. And, you know, we don't even know how many warnings it is till you get banned and how long the ban goes for. Like that, all of that is, you know, made up as it goes. But in this example, with the Carrick medbed, like that's replicable. Like you can replicate that and do that over and over again. Now, what they've done is given militant anti-PvP players essentially a set of guidelines by doing this, and gone, yep, you know, like if you can get evidence that may indicate, you know, excessive griefing, like this screenshot, and you report it to CIG, we'll go deal with it. And, you know, all they have to do is now start looking for other scenarios where they can, you know, achieve the same effect. I'll finish this off. But it's not griefing because the intent isn't just to disrupt them, but to engage in gameplay, right? Except the gameplay involves disrupting them playing the way that they want by attacking them. What if we gave them terms to comply or die? Well, CIG, you just set a precedence that giving terms for compliance doesn't matter if the target chooses a consequence enough and then runs to you complaining, because you'll take over and tell the pirates to back off by giving them a warning. Thus, corporate privateering has potentially been killed off before it can even be a thing. That's Silo, CIG, or anyone else from the community team who has an answer. And I'm quite confident a plethora of other players would like to know, when does an individual's responsibility for their gameplay cease to be their responsibility and become CIG's? Because this scenario makes it look like it's pretty low on the individual's part, and that is extremely concerning.
You know, like this whole thing, even beyond this specific circumstance, it's extremely concerning because fucking even without the videos and everything, like Dirty was streaming. He streamed this whole thing. And that is like the one thing that we have to support ourselves when we get these kinds of accusations. And even that didn't do it. Because here's the thing, like, I'm willing to bet that whoever, quote, investigated this ticket didn't give Dirty the luxury of doing an actual proper investigation and find that it wasn't excessive griefing. Either that, or they deliberately ignored it. I mean, whichever it is just that, but either way, it's not a good look.
No, it's not. Now it says here 422 replies. It was actually 550 something. Now, a lot of fucking PvP or Spectrum PvP was going on. But you know, the militant anti-PvP crowd was there. You may see some familiar names.
Hey.
Who the fuck is this guy? But a lot of what is actually brought up in these replies is a lot of people agree with what I had put in the OP, that this wasn't excessive griefing. Some people even suggested that if anybody was griefing, it would be the owner of the carrack, exploiting their med bed because it's an infinite respawning, you know, thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. And just
constantly running at the pirates. And if you watch that second video, you'll see how it ends. And it is literally, there are so many bodies in the med bedroom that Dirty's game starts lagging. He sees the owner, looks like he's just standing there, and then next minute he's getting taken down. And then he gets stomped on, he dies and wakes up at Area 18. The rest of his crew is still on that ship and they, you know, down the owner again. But throughout that entire time, like when they were actually, you know, like trying to extract value from that ship, that owner just keeps coming back. And the solution, everybody's given a whole bunch of good different solutions here. But my concern is more to do with the precedence that has been set here, because in this particular scenario, adding, you know, like medical goo, or, you know, like what he charges for the bed, or, you know, like being able to turn the bed off, or being able to like wipe, you know, the what was it, the clones that can be respawned to that bed, being able to wipe all that data doesn't matter in the context of how customer support dealt with the scenario. Because there's two things that could have happened here. The first one is that they did a really thorough investigation. They went to Dirty's stream, they watched all the videos that he made, and they came to the conclusion that yes, he was excessively griefing. Or two, they saw the screenshot and went, yeah, that looks like excessive griefing. And who's the guy? Yeah, we'll just go fucking send him an email now. I highly doubt it's the first. If it is the first one, that's even more scary than the fucking second. A lot of people are asking, and I keep seeing this, if lying down in the carrack's medical bed will stop people from respawning. See, it's not consistent.
That's not the issue. That's not the issue either. Like, the solutions that people are giving out, you know, fucking blocking the medical bay with SCU boxes so they can't escape, fucking getting inside the bed to prevent the respawn, etc., like blowing up or soft killing the ship to prevent, you know, all that. Like, yes, that can work and you can do that, but that is not the problem here. This problem is extending beyond the game now. And before we move on to that, like talking about the game, this, like, yeah, there are workarounds and that could be done, but it's not good gameplay. Like putting some guy on fucking nap duty and having them sit in the medical bed for however long you need to, like, take all the cargo out or salvage a ship, like, that's not good gameplay. Nor is, like, blowing up the ship or, like, stuffing the medical bed with boxes to prevent their escape, or even shooting them in the face every time they fucking try to get up out the bed. Like, yeah, cool, like, we can do that to avoid it, but it's not good gameplay, and it shouldn't be, like, yeah, we have to do what we have to do, granted, but it's not good. It's, like, all the options are just bad. But, like I said, issue now extends beyond the game, and it's now a problem with the terms of service and how it's enforced, and how the enforcement of the terms of service is in line with the development and CIG's intent. Because here's the thing. I think we can all agree that CIG's advertisement, development, features, and content have been pro-PvP, pro-piracy, and all that stuff, with things like Jumptown, Ninetales, Cargo Refactor, Salvage, PES. A lot of that enables PvP gameplay, which is great. Like, for instance, like 3.18. 3.18 is fixing to be an amazing, amazing patch. We're gonna have a lot of fun in 3.18 because of these new features and content. But we have that, and then CIG moderation team turns around and does shit like this that completely negates everything that we're trying to do, and it's left so ambiguous that we have no idea at what point is going to get us banned, suspended, given warnings, whatever. It's pretty much they can just do whatever they want, and there's nothing that we can do about it.
Yeah, like when Dirty talks about the interaction with customer service, he asks for clarification because they just tell him that he's getting a warning for excessive griefing and pretty much to stop it, or else it's going to be, you know, the penalties are going to be more severe, so temporary bans and that sort of thing. So he asks for clarification and he pretty much goes, is this about the medbed thing? And they go, yes, and this is no longer up for discussion. They pretty much shut him down. He can't even fucking defend himself after that. Because it's, you know, we're pirates. We're out there doing piracy all the time. We're pissing off people because they don't like being pirated by fucking player pirates. So we don't really know who is reporting us. And when we get told, oh yeah, we've received a report and we've determined that you're excessively griefing. And you're like, okay, when, where, who, you know, how? Like, I want to know these things because I just fucking pirated 5 people and I know they're all pissed off at me. So what, you know, which one of them is trying to claim that I excessively grief them? Like, you got to give me better details. And then you got to give me the opportunity to defend myself, because there's been instances where these fucking, you know, cunts have lied. They've tried generating support amongst the community to rally behind them to try and, you know, like essentially, you know, get a crowd going with pitchforks and torches to go after the pirates. And it's like, okay, what exactly did the pirates do? Oh, they griefed me, they didn't give me a chance and all that sort of stuff. I need to track down the post. I won't do it today. I'll probably put it in our the Spectrum forums on Gilded.
It's another thing too. Like, Dirty asked for clarification, right? Because a year ago or a year and a half ago, however long it was ago, do you guys remember that week where everyone was receiving emails? Like, a lot of PvPers, pirates, whatever, were receiving emails, warnings to their account for excessively griefing. Right? And everybody fucking kicked up a stink about it. Everyone was fucking yelling, screaming, complaining. Granted, rightfully so, right? Dirty was amongst the crew that got those emails, and back then sought clarification as to, okay, what is considered griefing, like camping med bays, this, that, and the other thing. And the email that he received back was explicitly said, no, this is not excessively griefing. And now fast forward to fucking this week, where he gets an email now saying that it is, and it doesn't matter what was said a year and a half ago. So, like, the rules are changing before our eyes, the goalposts are being shifted, and we're pretty much walking on eggshells now. Because all it takes, because like I said, what's happened to Dirty, and Agent said this already, this is a replicable example that people can do to report to customer support and be like, hey, I'm getting excessively griefed. And if people follow the example, then just as easily, you, me, Agens, anybody can get a warning, suspension, or ban based off of this.
I get Spectrum post deleted, so you know, I'll probably just move straight to ban. Yeah, it's concerning. It needs to be called out, and like, maybe I should go into my spiel now. Should I go into my spiel? Like, fucking, I spent like 6.5 hours writing this up, going over it, thinking through it. It's 3.5 pages long. It's 3.5 pages long. Yeah, I saw that, Alexandra. I've seen that follow-up post. Actually, I reference it in my spiel. That's the medbeds and piracy.
I took a bunch of screenshots. Medbeds and piracy, the way forward.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So, I do want to talk on that one, and I'll probably do that after my spiel, because Tumblr actually does a really good job of essentially tiptoeing around part of the issue. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over to Facecam here. Alright, I'm still recording, that's okay. I can cut this part out. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking to the camera pretty much the whole way through. For this thing, I'm not going to be looking at chat or anything like that for any sort of commentary, because my intent is actually to take this portion of the this video and actually turn it into its own video, because this is essentially me, you know, addressing this in a very specific manner, and it's essentially aimed at CIG. So, where are we? My face has gotten brighter. Alright. Can't turn this down. Wait, I'm able to do... That did not help. Alright. Whatever.
Be right back.
No worries. Alright, so this is my response to CIG censorship. I want to share with you or a concern that I have with CIG's handling of a warning that was given to a fellow pirate, Captain Dirty from Chaos Squad. My subsequent post on Spectrum seeking clarification on where CIG stands on this. Captain Dirty was given a warning for excessive griefing from CIG's customer support service. However, I, Captain Dirty, and at least 186 other people believe that CIG were in the wrong here. The scenario that resulted in this warning is something that we all could encounter as pirates. A carrack boarding against a solo player who has their respawn point set to the medbed of the ship. We'll call this player Carrack Karen. As with every piracy attack, resistance is expected. However, what this Carrack Karen decided to do was refuse to take the loss when the pirate crew had taken positive control of the ship. What ensued was 30 plus minutes of trying to negotiate with Carrack Karen, then having to suppress them since they refused any offers, defending their newly captured prize by killing good old Carrack Karen over and over again. Eventually the Carrack's medbay was full of bodies from the suppression of this persistent player, and due to lag, Captain Dirty was eventually taken down by Carrack Karen. However, his crew continued to salvage the Carrack until it was stripped of all value and then handed back to the owner. If you wish to see the hit, then the link will be in the description of this video, and I'll link it with a card at the top right hand side of the screen as well. A post was made on the Star Citizen Reddit with a screenshot showing PES in its glory with piles of Carrack Karen's bodies littering the Carrack's medbay. That post has over 2,000 upvotes. also linked in the description of this video. However, Captain Dirty received an email from CIG shortly after warning him of excessive griefing and kindly asked that he refrain from this type of behavior going forward, informing him that future incidents could result in more severe penalties. Since the first email didn't tell him why he was getting the warning, he followed it up to confirm if it had to do with the medbay incident on the Carrack, which they confirmed, and then shut down any further dialogue by stating that they consider the incident closed and may not respond to further inquiries. If you wish to learn more, Captain Dirty made a response video to the emails and the scenario explaining his side of the story. Link in the description and in the card in the top right corner. This is a re-upload since the original video had audio issues, and after seeing my Spectrum posts had been deleted, he had also decided to sanitize the email screenshots so as not to display the CIG customer service employee's name that he was speaking to, in case he was unintentionally violating CIG's terms of service again. When I found out that Captain Dirty received a warning from CIG, I was furious and very concerned. I had watched the video of the whole incident, and what I observed was a player who couldn't take a loss and was just doing whatever they could to disrupt the pirates from being able to profit from their captured prize. Considering the exposure that the screenshot had received on the Star Citizen Reddit, it is highly likely that CIG's customer service caught wind of what happened through some belligerent, militant, anti-PvP members of the Star Citizen community who made disingenuous claims against Captain Dirty and what happened. And CIG acted on it. If you watched the video of the hit, then you would be hard-pressed to disagree that CIG only acted on the screenshot, because it sure as hell looks like they didn't watch the video at all. Which led to my Spectrum post. Comply or die. For gameplay doesn't work if you're going to give out warnings to players when they enforce the consequences of not complying. Which I would link to you for you to read in your own time, except I can't because it was deleted from Spectrum, because posting screenshots and videos that include the details of player support interactions and discussing those is against CIG's standard of conduct, as well as the unkind replies against staff members throughout the discussion. However, as a positive, they did say that they passed on this feedback towards their relevant teams. Fortunately, one of my members saved a copy of the HTML page and another was able to provide screenshots and videos of the replies to the post. There's personal information on the HTML page, which I've omitted from the video here. However, I won't be sharing it outside of the video. What I will do is post screenshots of the OP and the video of the replies on Mongrel Squad's public guilded server for you to see for yourself, which contain the latest replies and statistics prior to my post being deleted. Once again, links in the description below. The crux of my Spectrum post was highlighting all of the evidence associated with the incident, providing counter-arguments to the accusation of excessive griefing against Captain Dirty by pointing out that Karen had other options that they could have explored to get out of the encounter, pointing out that CIG had now set a dangerous precedent with customer service could be manipulated to be weaponized against players now that they are given out a warning with an easy-to-replicate scenario. How the handling of the incident brings into question where future gameplay could be interpreted as excessive griefing due to the nature of it being disruptive, and then posing to CIG a question, when does an individual's responsibility for the gameplay cease to be their responsibility and become CIG's? Whilst there are a few detractors trying to push ridiculous counterpoints, the majority were in agreement that CIG had made a mistake with how they handled this incident, with many players offering in-game solutions to prevent this scenario from being possible again. I was never expecting a reply from CIG with regards to the question, but I felt compelled to bring this up, not only before CIG, but the community as well. Then the working week started for CIG and the thread was deleted, which is infuriating, disheartening, and concerning. I regularly check Spectrum to see what the community is talking about, if there's any new information, and also to voice my opinions, ideas, observations, and experiences. I've had threads locked, modified, and deleted before. I'm also one of the few people who has had a thread unlocked after a moderation review. But the reason why I feel infuriated, disheartened, and concerned is because to me the deletion reinforces a dangerous precedence where CIG isn't doing their due diligence when it comes to claims about excessive griefing. And if you try and bring it up in front of the community, they're going to shut you up. It's censorship. CIG, you've essentially said you can give us feedback, but it must be in the way that we want it to be given. If we don't like what you have to say, then we'll silence you. Well, that's not how feedback works. Not the type that encourages growth. That is a cold, corporate approach to handling customer dissatisfaction. Far removed from the roots of where CIG came from. And that isn't the type of company that I want to support. Tumblr from Liberty Reapers made a similar thread after mine was deleted, broaching the topic of terms of service violation whilst carefully tiptoeing around, ensuring not to mention customer service. It's also linked in the description. Head over there, have a read, comment if you want, and upvote if you agree. This entire situation had me reanalyzing my stance on CIG, Star Citizen, and doing content creation of myself and Mongrel Squad playing Star Citizen. I've always stated that there are two goals for Mongrel Squad when posting Star Citizen content. Promote Mongrel Squad and promote Piracy gameplay in Star Citizen. And I know we've been succeeding at both. We're not a huge channel, but we are growing, and I know our videos have inspired players to buy into Star Citizen so that they could raise the black and play the game as Space Pirate, even in its unfinished state. What CIG gets out of our videos doesn't correlate to what we get out of CIG. We paid to play their game, and they give us permission to show off their game and monetize the content. But if you read the terms of service, that can be revoked at any time. I was okay with this because I felt that our contributions would help achieve the vision to build the best damn space sim ever. I was okay with supporting the independent studio who was bucking the trend of chasing profit by not compromising and pushing the boundaries of what was possible for a video game. As I said before, CIG took a cold corporate approach to handling customer dissatisfaction, and I don't like where I'm seeing this going. For the better part of today, I've been wrestling with my conscience on what I should do next. I feel partially responsible because I encourage people to get out there and do piracy. Videos that we publish encourage people to buy into Star Citizen. I feel like what I've done is led them into a trap where they have no clue of what we can and can't do. And the best we can hope for is that we don't get banned playing the game as pirates. And I don't like that. CIG has stated piracy is something that you can do in this game. Never articulated what piracy entails beyond their Galactopedia post. But that doesn't explain how it's supposed to work in game. Everything you have seen us do on this channel has been from analysing what CIG has added to the game, theory crafting methods on how we can leverage what we have to pursue what we want, and an extensive testing and revisiting of ideas based on results. We didn't end up in the position we're in by accident. We worked our asses off to get to this point. Now it feels like the rug we're standing on is connected to a rope under tension, ready to be pulled out from under us if we do the wrong thing, irrespective if we knew it or not. All the while, CIG points at their game and says, "You can do piracy in our game." And here I am making and releasing videos and telling others, "Come do piracy, it's great." oblivious to the rope attached to that rug. I enjoy making our videos, sharing our stories, interacting with you all here, in-game and out. However, I was considering gating all of our content behind our public server and keeping it all internal. No paywall, just no advertisement for CIG either. Just so I wouldn't have this weight hanging over me. That content that I am making and distributing isn't putting players into a position where they give CIG their money and they get stitched up by CIG for doing something they didn't know was wrong. That wouldn't achieve anything. Star Citizen has turned into a behemoth, and the next lot of content creators step up to fill the void that we would leave, and the cycle would continue. Instead, the idea is to maintain the course, continue growing, expand our influence, and not only continue to display Piracy gameplay, but also raise our collective voices in the Star Citizen community when CIG does something that we don't like. There's a line in the message I received when they deleted my post. It's copy-paste because it's in the previous mod message about another deleted post I'd received. But this line reads, "While we hope to avoid doing so, should similar or repeated conduct be observed, more severe penalties may be applied to your account, leading up to a temporary suspension." The context for that line has to do with Spectrum posts for now. How long until it becomes the discussion of any moderation or customer service interaction anywhere becomes a bannable offense? Could they enforce it? Well, just like Captain Dirty's incident with Karen and their medbed, only when they want to, using what evidence they could be bothered to collect. What could CIG do to help change my point of view of them now? This is hard for me to say because I'm the type of person who expects actions, not words, to show change. Right now, all CIG can do is offer words. And I know that their words have to be carefully chosen so they don't commit themselves to a course of action that they will have to do at a later date. But these are my suggestions. For in-game moderation, I think it behooves CIG to treat giving warnings and bans with a great deal more consideration to what they're acting on. Make the evidence of the incident known to the person who was being given the warning and give him a chance to offer a counter evidence. You can say you already do this, but what I've seen is the opposite. I'd also like to see CIG review and update their posts on excessive griefing and stream sniping. The game we have today is vastly different from when that post was written. For Spectrum, I'd like to see more consideration of keeping posts that have high upvote counts, 100 plus, and have modifications made to them by CIG moderation if they're in violation of the rules. If that's too much work, perhaps a sin bin for posts that give the opportunity to the OP to adjust them to be compliant with CIG's rules for posting on Spectrum. This is another point. I'd also like to see the word griefer given the same treatment as the word care bear by CIG moderation to breed a healthier environment for discussions on topics that some players are vehemently against. For in-game mechanics, I'd like to see mechanics that have the potential to be abused in a way that could result in a community member being put into a position of being accused of breaking terms of service to be given a higher priority for being addressed by developers, i.e. infinite spawns on ship medbeds. And if they can't be addressed in the short term, communicate what constitutes abuse of that mechanic and what doesn't until the functionality in game lines up with your intent. These aren't demands. They're not expectations. They're nice to have. I think would go a long way to addressing the concerns that I and potentially many others have. And that's it.
Oh, I can speak now. Yeah, sorry. He put a piece of tape over my face. He didn't want to be interrupted.
100%.
But yeah, so the reason why we have this stance that we have is because Mongrel Squad is not responsible for the amount of people that join Star Citizen. Okay, we do not have nearly as much influence as, let's say, like a Morphologist or a Level Cap or an Ollie 43 or a Jack Frags or whatnot. Granted, we accept that. However, we know that we are responsible for a lot of people, groups, and orgs starting up, backing Star Citizen, joining the game to do piracy. Okay? We know this. Several people have come to us and say, like, hey, we got into piracy because of you guys. Like, I love this game because I watched Mongrel Squad, this, that, and the other thing. And we are extremely grateful for that. And we appreciate all the support that people have given us over the time that we've done content creation. But the point that I'm making is we are responsible for getting people into piracy gameplay. We are the ones that get up on this stage and say, hey, you can do piracy in Star Citizen now. Here's how you do it. And based on this situation, with the way that, you know, this situation was handled with Dirty, we now don't really know what is considered excessive griefing. Okay? And so we do not want to be the reason, like, we don't want to sit there and tell people, hey, you can do piracy, go out there and do piracy, and that essentially sets those people on a path to get banned, or we're leading them down a path where they get pretty much fucked by any person that, you know, decides to send a customer support ticket. Now that we have this replicable example, that's the reason why we considered not, you know, being on this platform anymore, because we didn't want to be that reason where people get banned. We didn't want to, because it went beyond like not wanting to support CIG. But yeah, I wanted to circle back to something. I wanted to end it properly, but I can't. I'm just rambling now at this point.
This is one of those scenarios where I just can't stay quiet about this particular topic. And the fact of the matter is like, you know, it's Captain Dirty this time, who's next? You know, years ago, there were a whole bunch of, you know, excessive griefing warnings put out with no specific examples given. You know, I don't remember which French org it was, but they pretty much went on a fucking killing spree afterwards, and pretty sure some of them got temp bans.
It may end up like we're probably gonna have to put a fucking we're probably gonna have to be a content disclaimer on our content that say, hey, doing this kind of gameplay could get you banned. Enjoy the video. Like, I mean, I'll fucking do it. Say I won't do it.
Yeah, like a huge problem that I see out of this as well, like Captain Dirty was streaming, he has a video recording, he has evidence to be able to protect himself. Not everybody fucking records their gameplay. And we're relying on CIG doing their job. You know, when customer service is investigating something, you expect them to do their job. You get paid. And if they're going to base it on a single fucking screenshot, like, why? Like, I can't, in good conscience, just keep going to people, hey, go do piracy gameplay. But make sure that you're a content creator and that you stream everything that you do and save your recordings at least for 3 months, because some fuckwit who can't accept the fact that piracy is a thing in this game will do whatever they can to manipulate customer support into getting you an excessive warning or a warning for excessive griefing. And if they do that enough times to you, you could get a temporary ban. And if they do that enough times, you may get a permanent ban. We don't know what the parameters are for that. CIG keeps that close to their chest.
Yeah. And it's like, the situation with Dirty kind of hit close to me as well, because in the 318 PTU, I was faced with the same exact situation where myself and a few other mongrels, we took a carrack, and they were like loot hunting at a cave or somewhat. We boarded the ship. We took the carrack out to dead space. Right. We were going to do the same thing. We were going to blow up a ship, and we were going to salvage it. Right. Just for, you know, just to make the money. Okay. And just to test out salvaging gameplay. What the dude kept doing was exactly what Dirty's exactly what Dirty's situation was. Guy kept militantly trying to get up, fight me, and so I had to spend like the next 20 to 30 minutes shooting him in the face whenever he got up out of the bed. And it was a similar fucking mountain of bodies that were in that medical bed, and it finally got it finally got to the point where, like, you know, the other mongrels got on site. They were going to soft kill the ship. Then that all happened, and then it finally got resolved, and then we were able to salvage the ship and everything. But that kind of thing easily could have happened to me. I could have woken up one day and gotten an email saying, hey, you're going to get suspended, or hey, you violated our terms of service. It could have happened to me, could have happened to agents, could have happened to anybody in Mongrel Squad, could have happened to fucking anybody. And that's the concerning part. That's the part that pisses me off. It might even have been the same guy. Like, who knows? I'm not sure. But Jesus Christ, man.
You shouldn't have to record your gameplay to fucking defend yourself. Like, that's the thing, is like, CIG's customer service didn't do their fucking job. And now they set a precedence where there's a fucking repeatable example of how you can get somebody with an excessive warning, excessive griefing warning. If you can get enough people together to fucking build up a case against someone, guess what? You could probably get them a temp suspension. Easy Team, thank you very much for the super chat there, man.
Yeah, thank you for your 20. Beautiful quote from a great show. If you've not watched Black Sails, for anyone in chat, I do recommend. It's a great watch. If you like piracy stuff, you will love Black Sails. Go ahead and watch that. I believe you can find it on Stars and Hulu. It's a great show.
If you're in Australia, it's on Netflix at the moment. Like, I want to believe that, you know, this was just a mistake on CIG's behalf, and, you know, they're going to fix it, and, you know, it'll all be good. But you can't bring it up with them. You got to do it through their customer service. And the fucking, I've got like several guys, they all did it on their own initiative. Nobody told me that they were going to do this. They all questioned CIG. They put tickets through customer service like I was told in that mod post. And they all got the exact same fucking reply. Please refer to our terms of service.
Unbelievable, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm actually considering, like, every single video putting a fucking content disclaimer and be like, hey, if you do this, you might get banned.
That's just it. Like,
that's what it is. That's
we're
the precedent
probably
now.
going to put it there.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Just be aware that what we're doing, we don't know if we're, you know, if CIG actually likes us doing this or not. You know, they sit there and they say piracy gameplay, but they've never articulated what constitutes piracy gameplay. It should be obvious. It should be obvious, but hey, apparently stopping the guy from, you know, trying to retake his ship over and over again is your fault.
Carracks are gonna be so fucking taboo now.
Like, no, they're not. They're just gonna get fucking talked. Like, you know, it's just gonna be out of principle. Every single character that fucking any PvPer sees will just torp it and just be like, you know, eat a bag of dicks.
And then these goddamn, you know, like militant PvEers would be like, why aren't you negotiating with us? It's like, well, you were flying a carrack, sir. It's pretty simple.
Hold up. PTU's going open. Open PTU, is it? You guys being legit? Yeah,
yes,
it is.
We are now open
Nice.
PTU. I was getting, I'm seeing the spam in the org's open chat at this time. People are screaming. Screaming! Oh, you know what that means, agents? I really have to finish my.
Yeah, you got to finish that video, man. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get all the social shit ready too for the change.
Oh god! Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh my god! It's all hitting me at once. We still okay? Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that as well, Tumblr. Ram, not Liberty Reapers. I'll fix that in post.
He fucked up. I'll hold him accountable.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'll reread out the whole thing if you guys really want to sit through it again. I don't know if I can convey the same emotion and tone though.
That was Pepega gun.
All right. So I'm gonna drop. Actually, I'll finish off this topic with this point. This weekend we've got the Mongrel Corps. I was going to do something a bit different with it, and I'm going to steal a page out of Salty Mike's book with how he does Answer the Call, except mine was going to be the Mongrel Corps and find out people's opinions or, you know, what their plans were for 318. Space Dude, thank you very much for the super chat, man.
Thank you for your 5. Brick on site. Yes, indeed.
And considering, you know, what's happened here, what I'm going to do is that the Mongrel Corps is actually going to be about this particular topic. You know, the whole notion of excessive griefing, and pretty much get people's opinion on it. You know, I haven't got all the details worked out yet, but the Mongrel Corps will be starting at was it 3 PM UTC plus 0 on the Saturday, this coming Saturday. It's like 1 AM for me. Roughly the same time that the this reaction stream starts, except a Saturday. So yeah, if you're keen, if you're available, drop in. If you want to jump on for 5 minutes and pour your heart out in front of the camera for Mongrel Squad's benefit, have a whinge at CIG as well, because I'll join in about what's going on. Then yeah, make sure you're there for it.
Open PTU and Area 18 trams are broken again. It's gonna be a great patch, guys. It's fucking persistent entity streaming.
Alright, it's time to move on.
Oh god, what are we gonna talk? Oh, I know. Shit. Alright.
So, we're moving on. It kind of feels like the rest of the stream is going to be a bit of a letdown, and I honestly can't. I don't think I could maintain that energy to maintain it. Dirty, of course, man. Yeah, it infuriates me that CIG would even entertain that as griefing, and yeah, Chaos Squad's, on the last stretch to their 1,000, subscriber goal. So if you haven't subscribed to their channel yet, go over there and make sure you subscribe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dirty, if you can drop in for the answer the call, man. Answer the call for the Mongrel Corps to jump on stream. That'll be great. I'm just gonna. I'll just steal the name as well from Salty Mike. Thank you very much, Hex, for the 50, the Viking dollars.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking today's Valentine's Day, guys. Today's Valentine's Day.
You guys are living in the past. I'm already past Valentine's Day.
Wow.
The currency is at peaking. That is Viking dollars.
Imagine getting open PTU on fucking Valentine's Day. That's just. Woo,
that's
man,
CIG showing their love for you.
CIG. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next bit of content here, guys. I know that open PTU is now a thing, so just listen in the background if you want. I'll be reading this stuff.
Tumblr, thank you for your 2.
Thank you very much for the super chat there, Tumblr. The next, it's a Spectrum post that we're reacting to. It's I think this one will actually be a bit of a pearl or two. It is. Should have grabbed the link. Cargo runner urgently need compensation debt mechanics. A debt mechanism for law system version 3. Hey, hot dog. You know, hot dogs are a sandwich.
Hot dogs are not a fucking sandwich, dude. Don't you start this conversation with me.
They are a sandwich.
They're not a sandwich. I don't care. There's nothing you can tell me
it's
right
genocide.
now. It's
I'm pretty sure it was
sandwich.
genocide. He did a PowerPoint for it, man.
It was a shitty PowerPoint that proved fucking nothing.
That proved that it was a sandwich.
It is not a fucking sandwich, dude.
I felt enlightened.
You know what? If a hot dog is a sandwich, then if tomatoes are fruit, then ketchup is a smoothie. All right? That's how I feel about it.
Though, what? Does a smoothie have to have some sort of milk product in it? No, it doesn't. Rock is frozen lava? Maybe. Technically, yeah, it would be. Because the lava would be freezing at room temperature or, you know, like ambient temperature.
Yeah, but a sandwich is an assortment of food between two slices of bread. A hot dog bun is only one slice of bread.
No.
Bread is just raw toast.
You're not wrong. Cereal is a soup? Probably. You can see that we're really, you know, itching to discuss this fucking Spectrum post, can't you?
One last thing before we get into One last thing before we get into the post. Waffles are better than pancakes. That's the take. All right, Spectrum.
I don't know about this waffles and pancakes thing.
Shut your mouth.
All right.
You had like 15 minutes to have your opinions. Okay, let me have mine.
Hey, I spent hours writing mine out.
Yes, and you're entitled.
All right. Cargo runner urgently need compensation / debt mechanism for law system version 3. Okay. I don't think English is their first language, but let's go through this. In 3.18, pirate players will be able to loot people's cargo, but they only need to be in prison for at most 1 day, and that's it for a 5-star crime. But the victims are not compensated, and they have to suffer directly heavy losses in the business with long tedious effort in the game. This is unfair. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Blake. Actually, yeah, that discussion did happen during a hit. And then Genocide was trying to I'm pretty sure it was Genocide. He was trying to share the PowerPoint where we're all moving fucking boxes. I'm like, dude, get back to work. Prospect. Alright, back to the Spectrum post. Therefore, the law system should also get updated. All the gameplay, especially Cargo Runner, will be in trouble by having too many bandits or pirate players, even in Stanton, because pirate punishments are so light, for just a day in prison. So propose a solution, which is a black box in every ship. All ships should have a physicalized and destroyable black box to record what happened, so the victim could record who attacked them in space without surveillance system. After the bandit was recognized and recorded by the black box, a citizen or victim could report the bandit's ID and crime to the UEE. If they take the black box back to UEE law system as legal evidence, and then the victim could claim future compensation. After the evidence was submitted, and after the bandit was captured by a bounty hunter or UEE, they should be judged to compensate for the loss they caused to the victims. The bandit could choose to compensate the victims through a portion of their income from every mission with some interest, or they could directly fuck off. Or they could directly pay the compensation. No. Fuck off. That's not how this works. For the bandit, bandits need to act more swiftly to avoid being recognized. The game mechanics should give time to the black box to recognize attackers, and pirate players need to put their prey into soft death condition in this short period of time. If they were unfortunately recognized, they will need to find and destroy the black box before they get reported, as a black box is the only legal evidence. Well, if it's on the ship, it's going to be fucking easy to find because it's not going anywhere. I firmly believe it will bring complete gameplay and make a balance to piracy and normal player. And this could also have lots of dynamic missions, like players could offer a reward to the bounty hunters after the evidence was legally permitted. Pirates and players could also offer an investigation mission to recover the black box. P.S. Compensation should be shared by the pirates involved, or we could have a court in the future so pirate could discuss a portion of the compensation they has to pay. It would take a lot of time to wait for the trial depending on when the pirate was captured. Character research should keep crime status. You know what we'd do? Fucking, we'd try and make sure, like, if this actually became a reality, a way that you get around this. Wait, a way that you would get around this is you'd have essentially a fucking sacrificial lamb in the team. Okay, we got caught. We all go to the court. Alright, sacrificial lamb, you're paying everything. We're all gonna pay zero, you're gonna pay everything. Sweet. You have no money. Alright, you gotta go to prison. Wait a second, we'll just bloody keep killing you until you have to respawn your next character. And then your next of kin doesn't inherit the debt. Old mate doesn't get any fucking compensation. And the rest of the pirates get off scot-free. Or, you know, the fucking black box is on the ship, so the first thing that you'd be doing is like, alright, is the self-destruct off? Yes. Is there any crew on board? No. Alright, get the black box before we leave. And then as you're passing by the star, fucking fire it off into it. Goodbye black box. Fucking the cargo hauler sitting there going, oh. Like,
where is your evidence?
if you wanted to make this work, you'd want to set the black box up so that you could eject it. Or at least eject like a probe during the hit so that it made it more difficult for the pirates to find. Because if you keep it on the ship, the pirates will find it, because that's what we do. Well, yeah, as you pointed out, Slim Jim, they create the mission to the black box, so you just kill the people trying to recover it. Or you just have an alt that is spec to be able to accept those missions, and then you go recover it yourself and then lose it. Like,
I have a black shoebox in my closet.
Like, I've proposed a similar solution to this. There's actually a post that I made where, like, why piracy isn't a crime, and it pretty much goes around and says the reason why piracy can't be considered a crime yet in-game is that CIG needs to be able to automate the system for detecting an act of piracy. And an act of piracy is the stopping, boarding, and taking of, you know, value from a vessel and putting it on your own. Now, the game will know all of this information, but for it to remain immersive, there needs to be mechanics put in place to simulate things being reported. The black box is a suggestion that I also made. However, this is one of those situations where it's like, I wouldn't leave it on the ship. This would be one of those things where it's like, alright, we're being attacked, fire it out the fucking back, especially if we're about to get boarded. I'd be like, fuck the black box off. We've got all the data that we need, fuck it off. You know, but it'll spawn, you know, maybe set a timer on some shit, go have it start sending out a beacon, you know, in like an hour or two. But this is one of those situations where like they're kind of okay with their idea. Until they start talking about compensation and having the pirates pay it.
Reparations.
Reparations. And it's like, look, we will work out a way of getting around it. We will do that.
Oh, God, man. It's just so bizarre.
Thing is like, you could have the, like, realistically, the insurance system should be the thing that's handling all of this. Because this person, with their suggestion, what they're really trying to get at is that they want to punish the pirates for attacking them when they lost. Like, they're like, I lost, but I still want to be able to punish you. So when you lose, I'm going to get my shot in too, because I can't fucking beat you any other way. Now, it's a petty way of looking at it, but it's a really accurate analysis of the mentality behind this. The problem with all of this, though, is that that player ain't going to get fucking compensated until those pirates get caught. And, you know, if those pirates are a part of a reputable enough crew, they may never get caught. Not unintentionally. Now, if you have the insurance system and you insure your cargo, you just palm all that shit off onto the insurance company. Say, yeah, I got pirated, but this is where it happened. But you know, that's all I can really give you. And then the insurance company goes, all right, sweet, we'll go out and investigate this. And if we determine that it was a legit pirate attack, we'll fucking, you know, recompensate you. And then what does the insurance company do? They create the mission to go recover the black box. They create a mission for a salvaging team to go out and, you know, salvage the remains of the ship. They create a bounty hunting mission to go start hunting for evidence of pirates. They create investigation missions for, you know, like going out and seeing what's going on with, you know, the area, doing an investigation to see what type of pirate attack it was, if it was an actual legit pirate attack. It's entirely up to CIG what they could do with it. But the insurance system is essentially a method of creating a game manager and utilizing a game system to handle mission generation, where the cargo hauler, the target in this case, gets to continue on their way. They don't have to worry about, you know, like getting reparations from the fucking pirate who may not get caught for like 3 months. And they can get back into the space lanes and start, you know, going out and, you know, trucking somewhere a bit better or a bit safer. Dag is repeatedly logged into the stream and I'm griefing the phone. Wait, don't you live in the UK? Can't online hate crimes be reported and actually get me sent to prison? I wonder if I get extradited to the UK.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like, yeah, a lot of these you know, like, this isn't that much of a bad idea. I've seen really, you know, terrible ones.
Yeah.
This isn't that bad. They've at least, you know, like tried to somewhat balance it, but they're still like tried orientating it towards where they are still gonna, even when they lose, they still could win. And this is one of those situations where it's like, look, you know, you're better off being in a position where the encounter happens, it ends, and then you can move on. Whereas in this sort of system, you can't move on. You're kind of like waiting in the background for, maybe you'll get my credits. It's like, look, just fucking get the insurance company to pay. And then they can do all the shit that, you know, the CIG wants them to do to recover the, you know, the value of the credits, but it doesn't really matter because it's an in-game fucking system. Jag, I was about to, you know, say, what was his name again? The blonde-headed dude. I can't even remember his name. Like, I thought we went through prime ministers pretty quickly, but you guys pretty much changed prime ministers, like, went through 3 in 3 months. Boris, that's the one. Boris Johnson. And then you had that female. Liz Truss, there you go. Yeah, she counts. Yeah, the cabbage, I remember that. The cabbage stream.
Latest is Ricky
Gervais. To be honest, I think he'd do a better job than most politicians, and he'd probably stay in office a lot longer.
We like Ricky Gervais.
No, here we go. I want to highlight this response. So, what was Carlos?
Oh, Carlos. There's Carlos.
You can negate almost all piracy operations by unlocking the following skill attributes. Friendship. This skill allows you to hire/pay people a small amount of the profit earned from your daily trading activities. They can either ride along the turrets, offer anti-boarding protection, and even come as a wingman in another ship. The higher the skill level is, the more people you can hire to protect your ship from player and NPC encounters, and in some cases pirates won't attack due to numbers. Sextant navigation. This skill allows you to plot a more indirect route to your destination, allowing you to skillfully avoid direct routes that often have a high encounter rate. Adept. This skill is particularly useful. It helps you adapt to your surroundings, learn from your mistakes, and helps you to understand other player movements in the verse, like predicting that there might be others watching your movements. Negotiation. This was a useful skill to have, but it can still have its place in the verse in 3.18. The skill allows you to talk to those you encounter and attempt to negotiate terms with minimal disruption of your playtime, enabling you to get back to quickly get back to trading without the loss of your ship in some cases. And then I ask, are you suggesting in-game skill attributes or real-life ones? K-Bears will use their new skill of contact customer support. Yeah, 100%. Like, there's some fallacies in this. The idea is not, you know, the best, but it's not the worst. Like, the focus should be more on insurance. Flesh the insurance system out and you're good to go. Nelson, if somebody calls us, I've already given the ROE to Mongrel Squad. If somebody does try to call us, we either hang up or we respond, and there's a specific phrase that we say to them. Ace, thank you very much for the tenner. Appreciate it, mate. Let me see. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, we're not. If they call us, we're not going to negotiate. Like Agent said, we're going to give them a very short and specific response, and then that's it. Before we board them and shoot them in the face.
This is the response that they'll get. Mongrel Squad is running the red flag. We are not negotiating. You will not be given any mercy, and no quarter will be given. Fight back or die. That's it.
Or Alt F4, doesn't matter.
Well, that's what they'll probably end up doing anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like, Scott, you're right. Like, this idea, I wouldn't say it's fully shit, though. It's not that bad. It's not that good. The problem is, yeah, like, the misconception that piracy is not a valid gameplay loop. But, you know, they'll learn eventually. To be honest, that was a pretty luckless post. Like, it was pretty straightforward. Don't really know what else I could really say about it. Could we not be paid off? We've been able to be paid off for bloody years, and nobody... The amount of people who have attempted to leverage exploits to get out of the encounter has put us in a position where we're like, we now have the opportunity to take everything.
Yeah, I'll give you like an example, right? Or I'll put something into perspective for you. Agents, how many people do you think we've pirated since we've started? Like more than 10,000, probably.
Yeah, there's some statistics that we've never recorded every single hit, but
yeah, but just by like a very, very rough estimate, we've pirated close or perhaps more than 10,000 players as an organization, right? And out of all those 10,000, I can guarantee you that we've tried reaching out and negotiating with most of them. Out of those, how many do you think complied and actually paid us? If you guessed a very slim minority, then that would be correct.
So I need to go grab the numbers again because it would have updated in the last few months. But around October, we upgraded our bot to talk to a website where we fill out hit registration forms. When we pirate somebody, we fill out a form with their details, ship, place, you know, how much we made from it and all that, what they did. And it tells our bot, you know, like when we look up somebody on our bot, we can see if we've pirated them before, and if we have, we can go and look at the hit report. And if we saw that they alt F4'd, or if they combat logged, or if they self-destruct, that pretty much tells the piracy crew what they need to do next, which is just go in there guns blazing, smash them. Now, this happened around October, and up until that point, the way that we tallied our hits was that we only recorded our successful hits, and it was just the value of the loot that we got from the actual hit itself. And it didn't matter if it was like 1 credit or, you know, 10 million credits. We still recorded it. It was towards the end of October last year. We had roughly 1,000 entries, and I pretty much checked on the date that we first started the bot, which was 2 years prior to that. So in October 2020, we started our bot and recording our successful hits, how much we made from them. And then last year, October, 2022, that's when we started recording our pretty much every single hit. But before that, we grabbed the stats to see how many successful hits that we'd had over that time. During that time, we'd also grown a lot. I believe we'd grown by about 100 members by that stage. And yeah, like the reason why we say 10,000 is because we're basing it on data and statistics that other streamers and content creators has done, like with Troximus's video where he talks about the 100 people that he pirated, where I believe it was only like 10% paid out. If we use that 10% value, then we, with 1,000 successful hits, potentially have pirated 10,000. 10,000 different players. It's probably more, because we're doing piracy before October 2020 as well. If we base it on what Burks had done a couple of years back during the Laranite rush, can't remember how many he pirated, but he worked it out and it was only a 5% success rate. So if 1,000 is our 5%, fucking we're looking at like 20,000 people. But I'd rather be more accurate, which is why we have the hit registration form and we record all our hits. Helps us, inform our decision-making process as, like if we encounter somebody that we've pirated before, which we've actually done, a few times. But it also, like allows us to track data, trends, if we're hitting orgs, consistently, then matchmaking may be putting us on, specific servers and that sort of stuff. But we don't know. So our tally for this patch cycle is roughly 37 million. Actually, it was 38. Almost 39. But it wouldn't have been like we didn't hit 10,000 targets for 317. Like nowhere near that. But yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like we're finally, got our data sorted out, and going into 318, that's really when we're going to be able to get some good data on how much we actually make. And then, we'll be able to start putting together statistics and, like we could do, what they're called again, infographics with the statistics of our hits to share with CIG and the rest of the community and say, like, with the introduction of soft death in 318, this is how much money or how many credits we made, how many hits that we did, how much the success rate of the hits. Because when I say we record all our hits from when we started up that hit registration form, even the hits where we didn't get anything out of it, combat logs, alt F4s, target escapes, destruction and shit despawns, everything. And the reason why is so that we have a more accurate idea on not only how many targets we pirate, but also the most frequent outcomes of what those hits are. So that we can then analyze, all right, we're encountering a lot of targets escaping. Then we start looking at the reports and it's like, all right, we need to focus on improving our QED flying skills. But, yeah.
We're just gonna fuck them, agents.
Eventually, we'll start sharing those stats. Like, that's been a goal of mine. To, you know, make posts on Spectrum with stats showing, you know, like, as a pirate organization, this is what we've been able to achieve with what you've given us. And then CIG makes decisions on nerfing everything so that we can't make as many credits. Or they just give us bans for excessive griefing.
If there's one thing you need to take away from the point that he's making, dude, in 318, the only thing you need to do to these industrialists is fuck them. That's it. I'm just gonna fuck them.
Yes, you did, Brewski, you did. Alright. Let's get ready to move on. Because clearly we're enthralled with that fucking post. Doobs, I'm gonna send you the sync tube link. Because I forgot to try out that other one that Space Dude bloody recommended.
Damn it, agents!
Yeah, I know.
You're too busy writing your epic monologue.
It was emotionally charged.
Emotionally. Oh yeah, see, it's called Watch Together with a 2. The number 2, agents. What do you think of that?
It's clever. Watch Together. I'll have to, I'm gonna have to look that up. Test it out. See if it's better than fucking SyncTube. I'm gonna say that nearly anything is better than SyncTube at the moment.
Wow.
That's alright, Nelson. I actually recorded the thing as well. So. And I also plan on doing some editing on it too.
Alright, I have SyncTube open.
Nice. Like, interestingly enough, because of the way that our hit registration forms work, we could technically track the stats of how much a single or individual mongrels make. Also, how many, you know, like, which mongrels participate in the most amount of hits. Also, where the majority of our hits are.
Hey, who's glistening Millard? Make yourself known. Who did it? Who clicked the link? Who did it?
All right, we're gonna get ready to see that. Avatar, we're gonna talk about the new Scorpius variant at the end of the stream. So after this video, we'll be talking about the Scorpius. All right, now I'm going to start recording. All right, so what we're going to be reacting to now is a video, and I haven't watched this yet, but this particular video is about, let's go over the reaction stream, reaction scene.
So this is very, very apt, right? Wait until you see it. This is a husband and wife doing Xenothreat, apparently. And isn't it very apt that we're looking at a husband and wife playing video games on Valentine's Day?
I didn't actually consider that. I'm just grabbing the link for you guys to watch as well later if you want.
Feel the love in the air, and for those of us that are single and alone, we can live vicariously through these people. Ain't that something?
Don't enjoy your singleness. Is this Captain Foxy Loxy? Yes, it is. We may see Jace featuring on this. I'm really disappointed that Jace is like the Spectrum post about Jace being helpful during Xenothreat. That was one of the options, and it didn't get upvoted. I wanted to do that one, but I also I've been up for over 24 hours now, so when I was doing the poll, I realized that I was going to be up for that long, and so I decided to limit it. Anyway, here we are. Wife's first Xeno threat event, but thwarted by griefers after griefers. 318 PTU in 4K, which doesn't matter because it's going to come across as
in 4K, but you know
1080p.
what, guys? Only we get to enjoy it in 4K, while you guys get to enjoy it in 1080p. I'll get fucked. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. That was a little bit uncalled for me. Let's move on. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say some stuff like that again. Excuse me.
All right, let's watch this.
Oh shit!
Should I be shooting?
Yeah, someone just press 5.
5.
Oh god, there he is.
Jace! There he is! Hello, Jace.
5 shooting? Just 5? No shift 5 or anything?
Yeah, we have a griefer.
Oh no.
You can hear the panic. You can hear the panic in his voice.
Aim at him and shoot.
What is the shoot?
He's
button?
flying arrow.
What is the shoot?
What is the shooting thing?
System down. System down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna die. Yeah, this guy. We died.
Honey.
Oh my god.
You didn't tell me anything. And then you just all of a sudden tell me to shoot.
No, this is a griefer.
How am I supposed to know?
There is a griefer. Yeah, I should.
You're like, I'll tell you later, and then all of a sudden you say shoot. What am I supposed to do?
When we get there, I can teach you how to shoot. Just commit it.
Wow. Gotta be
He
careful.
puts his wife in the turret.
Gotta be careful, Jace. You might get a customer support ticket now. Might get a
Jace
warning.
95, his twin brother, not Jace 94. Okay. So he puts his missus in the turret and then goes, yeah, all right, we're going out into a PvE event. And then it's like, yeah, I'll teach you along the way. And the first fucking fight he gets into is against Jace.
God,
Oh, man.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Like, she said, what is the shoot? Quote of the day, everyone. What is indeed the shoot? I don't know.
Like, she mustn't play games much. Like, she was asking questions. She was trying to get involved. And so, her partner, he ain't doing too well giving out instructions. Like, left mouse click. That's all he had to say. He was panicking.
God, we really need that new player experience in 319, aka 318.1, right, guys? That ought to do some real good.
Like, fuck. Why would you just take him straight into the persistent universe? Take him into Arena Commander first, at least. Don't take him to a fucking huge combat event like that. Anyway, let's keep watching.
For crimes.
How do I commit him for crimes?
Hold left bracket. So we have some griefers in this server for Xeno
Whose
threats.
point of view are we watching right now? Is it the husband's?
Hello, friends,
Yeah, this is all the
and welcome back. Today, my husband is taking me to Xenothreat to do some dogfighting. If you saw our last video, you know that I wanted to see some action, but things didn't go as planned.
Or maybe it was the wife's.
So hopefully today we have better luck. Yes, so I'm going to be his turret gunner. It's my first time being a turret gunner. And this is a special shout out cameo for the people who wanted me to play. You guys obviously don't know how bad I am. You'll find out. So, let's go. Oh, I love that scorpion. What do you call it? The paint. Yeah.
This is the X-wing. Yeah, this morning we
let's go.
tried to actually spend the whole day trying to record this, almost a whole day.
Yes.
We woke up early.
I'm rooting for these
trying to
guys. You have
record
no
this,
idea.
But there's we
These are
win
not
in
my
the
new
game,
favorite
but
people.
there's a couple griefers at Jericho. Once we jumped to Jericho, they just killed us right away. and we switched different servers, but the elevators all bugged, and we switched back and met those griffers again, and obviously died again, and then back and forth for the whole.
Yeah, we tried about for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm reporting for duty.
Oh, first you have to accept the mission. Press F1.
Well, you didn't tell me I have to accept the mission.
Oh my god,
You
this is
just
like typical.
told me to get on the plane.
Typical banter.
This one?
God.
So you've never used a turret before. I'm gonna tell you a couple things.
Okay. Retract.
Oh, retract.
Oh,
yes.
somebody's trying to shoot us?
Yes, we.
Okay,
are
how do I
entering
shoot them?
combat Situation.
Ah.
So, 5. Always press 5.
5?
Is lock on the nearest target.
Oh, and then just
Yes, you
click
pre-
the mouse?
Oh, nice. It's dead.
But I
Right.
didn't do
He has
anything.
badgers on these. Oh my
It's
god.
okay, we
dude.
just got
I just
here.
realized he has badgers.
Oh, we got here to watch the firework. That's not. That's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, there's so many red, like...
Yes, red targets are enemies.
I know, but there's so many. And then they just disappear.
Looks like this server are friendly. There's no PvP players here locking down Jericho, so it's good. There's,
Do I shoot the square
Foreshadowing.
or the
Fucking foreshadowing.
plane?
you aim at the square.
Oh, the square.
Yes, the circle.
How do I lock on this target? Oh my gosh, it's so
Oh,
fast!
stop screaming!
Oh god.
We have.
Oh no. Come back here.
Oh no, we have a hurricane. We have
Oh,
a
it's-
hostile player.
Tumbler!
Why am I going in a
Oh my
circle?
god, look at him! Look at him go!
My shield is down.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
this PvP players are just horrible.
Wow! The rhetoric is
Let
unbelievable.
me jump us.
Run away! Quick!
It's okay, we jumped.
Oh.
Try to escape. Okay, I'm gonna bring us in. Let's try again.
I'm nervous, but
Jump out and jump back in, that'll do it.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready? Let's go.
I was born ready.
Yeah!
Nice.
Love the attitude.
Okay, so left side, this one we can shoot within range. This is a Xeno threat.
What?
This one.
The circle, right? Shoot at the circle?
Yes. Nice. Kill that one. There we go.
Isn't that
We're
him
friendlies here,
shooting?
so
That was him
go
shooting.
in.
He's like, yeah, nice!
Ooh. Ah!
okay.
Ah!
Hold on. Let's bring you in closer. All right, start shooting.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Do it. You're doing it.
Is this pilot in...
Yes. Nice, nice.
He's deliberately
Got
in
really
third
good hits
person.
on him.
He's
Okay.
like,
Come on! Die!
Nice. He's dead.
yeah!
He's dead?
Let's go!
I got him?
Yeah!
Oh!
He's
Wow. Yes!
beautiful.
Jesus.
Nice job.
I did it, you
Nice
guys.
job, Foxy. Y.
I'm... Wait, are you X? See, we already forgot. I told you.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Can
oh,
I...
Xeno threat.
Can-
This is an arrow. Yeah. Press 5. Then I can shoot.
Oh, rock.
Okay.
What bothers me a lot out of this is that
He's fighting it. He's fighting in third person, dude. He's fighting-
you can target lock
He's
ships and then assign priorities to them. You can pin the ships, and your target gunner should be able to see those pins and then press the corresponding button and also be able to target the same thing.
Now, Agens, don't be criticizing. This is wholesome content, okay? I haven't even heard them cuss yet. I don't think.
This is not the event that I'd take anybody into if it was their first time for turret gunning, but, you know, fucking I only train people to do piracy, so what would I know?
Beautiful. Nice. So, oh, another one. Was you shooting? I can
Yeah,
actually
it
go to
really
third
must take
person,
some
so our
skill
viewers
to
can
be able to
enjoy
fight
the
people in third person
nice
like this.
space
It's
combat
truly
view.
remarkable.
I really like it.
I'm glad they're enjoying it because I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. 'Cause
Basically, is aim and shoot. Target, aim and shoot. Press 5.
I don't even know what the
He's dead.
heck you're doing.
Just press 5.
There we go.
So-
So, got something for you. Oh, look up.
Holy shit, the amount of flares.
Yeah, but he's like just
Shit, dude.
he just flew in a straight line and just like rotated, like.
We
a
got
little
a
bit.
this PvP player is horrible.
Uh-oh. Tumbler's back.
I cannot. You're
Why this guy called?
Oh, he's in a hurricane.
Turborino.
Oh
it's a
no!
Reno.
Why am I? What is wrong with
It's
He's
me?
gonna
okay, we're
stand
blacking
by.
out.
Did I shoot? Did I shoot our wing?
No, we cannot survive this.
He
Okay.
shoot our wing?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
soft death.
Eject.
Oh.
Eject.
He killed us.
Oh, he killed us. We need to beep that up. Ah.
Okay, I'm gonna switch a ship.
Oh no. Husband is angry.
They're gonna grab
what's
a Hornet.
His name?
I have
100%.
no idea. Turborino? I don't know. What did you say? Oh, Tumblerino.
And Deadlicious as well.
What the hell is your problem?
Okay, we're back at Jericho
Raven
again with the
CIG.
Hammerhead. My wife is on the top
Wow.
left turret.
Wait,
And this
what?
whole day we've been
Trying.
They're in a hammerhead
Agents.
We've been
They're in
trying.
a two-person hammerhead.
Reverse after
They're in a
reverse
two-person
after.
hammerhead. Agents.
Xenothreat is the focus is not PvP, it's PvE. But those very skill. I mean, they have skills, the dogfighting skills. There's no denying of that. But it's just not cool for them to do this here, blocking those players trying
God.
to experience Xenothreat or trying to test.
Pay us to protect you? Oh hell no.
Is that arrow shooting at us? It's okay.
Oh.
I think someone else is shooting at us as well.
Yeah.
She's in
This
the
hurricane
side
shooting at us
turret.
again. Tamburino. This guy just.
Oh shit, Tumbler's red.
Can you shoot him back?
I don't even know where
The
he
fuck
is.
up.
I cannot even. Is that him?
Yes, that's him.
I might have only been like the visual glitch. Never mind.
Go there. Just fly the ship.
Okay, looks fine.
You fly the ship.
Fly a ship!
Turn right. Fly right. And left. And straight. And go right. Turn right. Keep turning
Oh
right.
god.
Keep turning right. Keep going straight.
Jace, you're about to get
This-
banned for excessive griefing. He's right. Yeah.
Just listening to the dialogue between the husband and wife just makes me think of me and my missus when we're on like road trips. And she's giving me directions. And it's like, all right, we're like 20 meters away from a turn. And then, she'll be like, oh, we need to turn down that road. And I'm just like, fuck. Are you serious? I'm not even in the right lane. Like this just... The dialogue between the two of them, I'm just sitting there going, this would just piss me off. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Like Xenothreat, I'd just log out. I'd just be like, like, let's just go watch a movie or something. This is too painful. Like, this is like the worst event that you could take somebody new to that isn't familiar with playing PC games that are this intense. Like, this is an intense PvE event. Like, the pilot like, if you're going to try and coach somebody through this, you need to be able to handle the intensity of it, and the fact that old Jace is old helpful Jace is going to show up to help out with the event. But yeah, if you don't have that ability, just do some of the easier events to start off with. Ease them in. This to me is just painful. It's like you're throwing somebody in the deep end that's never swum before, and you can't swim that well either. You throw them in the deep end and you're like, yeah, just swim, just kick your arms and legs around, and then you jump in and then you're flailing in there too next to them. Like, come on. Oh god. Let's keep watching. Let's fight through.
Finish.
Oh, we're jumping?
Yeah, we jumped to Jericho.
I think it'll be a lot more fun to have also other people and like the other turrets and things like that.
We actually have some Xeno threat targets here. Do you want to try to shoot?
It's not only fun, it's useful. Fucking a 2-person hammerhead is useless. It's so useless. You'll get more kills just ramming shit.
Some? Close up. Okay, time to shoot.
I am shooting. I am shooting.
Oh my god, they just get fucking just eating missiles.
It's to my left. I can't get it. I don't know if
So many ships shooting at us.
I don't know if it's the best idea to be on this turret.
Yeah, I'm really not planning to use this ship. The maneuverability is really bad.
Yeah, and the field of view is horrible.
Why is she not in the top turret? Like, it's, to me, that would make the most amount of sense. Gives them the best field of view. You can point them in the same direction as what you're fucking flying in.
I love how they always come to these conclusions as they're dying instead of before, and like
they're at least
they even
learning.
said no. They even said that she's going to be in the top turret. Like that's why I caught me by surprise when she was in the front left one.
Horrible.
Yes.
Like I can't see.
Okay, I'm tracking the enemy. You can shoot now. Yes, yes,
Nice.
good.
Am I getting it?
Good. Nice.
Oh!
Nice kill.
Did I
There's
finally
another
get
on
one?
top of us.
Oh shit.
Press 5 again. You can. You got one. All right, open fire.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Funnily enough, that's probably going to be everyone's mantis when the new Scorpius gets released.
Keep firing.
Yeah, true.
It's all right.
Oh,
he
it's
just
not
got
ours.
rammed by an arrow.
Wow, that ship rammed into us. It died.
Oh, the
Okay, let's
Valkyrie.
get this Valkyrie. Keep opening fire.
Come on.
Keep firing.
Come on.
Nice!
Yes!
You got another one.
Yes, I got 2.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is not easy.
Wow. Our hull is completely red. We will not survive this one. But just fire. Just target
Come on, I
any ship.
hope that Idris railgun just
It's
fucking
very tricky when you're
wipes them out.
driving and you keep moving.
ram it head.
This is like teaching your wife to drive. This is how yelling and
Okay, there we go.
screaming happens. Come on. I'm breaking the matrix.
Hey, he's using the pinning feature.
Okay, shoot.
I am
Oh,
shooting.
nice. You
Speed.
killed this engine. Oh, this Joyce 94 is trying to is
Oh god,
Trying to
Chase
kill
is
us?
back.
shooting at us again.
Chase
yeah.
is back. Run!
Okay, we're jumping.
Run for your lives!
Okay.
Run!
They're jumping. They
I mean, it's like this, the strong preying on the weak, you know.
We're not weak.
I know, but
Yeah.
like their motives are not good.
We just
Cap.
it's not our purpose
Cap.
today to
Cap.
fight them.
No.
To experience the Xeno, to especially bring you to do
Juice.
some combat dogfighting. But looks like it's not happening.
No.
Happened a little bit. But
A
it's
little.
not-
I shot 2, but with the other people shooting at us, I couldn't shoot anymore.
Yeah.
But at least we got some because we've tried so many times earlier today and we just couldn't
Yeah, that's
even.
true.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Okay, so that was our video for today. Didn't go as planned. I wish I could have killed more Xenothreat planes, ships, but we were kind of ambushed by people who just wanted to shoot other players. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope that you have a fun time playing Xenothreat also. And don't forget to like and subscribe for our future adventures. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye!
Bye.
Bye. You know what, Agens? I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. I thought that was fine. I thought that was fine.
This is one of the reasons why, like, if I was ever going to do this with my missus, you know, playing in Star Citizen, I threw in a turret, I wouldn't go to fucking Xeno Threat. I'd be like, all right, I'm throwing you in this ship. You're going to be in the turret. Point and click. This is how you target. Or go over to the keyboard. And I'd be like, this is how you do the things. All right. Put a little piece of paper up there so that she can reference, you know, the keys that I tell her. And I'll be like, all right, we're going out and we're going to do basic bitch missions. Basic bounty missions. 3K fucking only. And just start there and just keep doing those over and over again until she feels confident enough in that. And then just keep walking it up from there. And then eventually go to Xeno Threat. Oh, I need to bloody put a second PC together that could play Star Citizen. Like, they were learning, they were trying, but they're crying about the whole griefing thing is fucking not helping them, but they'll learn eventually.
I think these are the kind of people that I think this was a representation of the kind of people we see on Spectrum complaining about griefing. Seeing them in the flesh.
Oh man. Did I see Cutlet short with Morph? No, I did not.
Care to explain? It seems interesting. Yeah. Oh boy. God. Thanks for your submissions and votes on that. That was a very fun and informative video.
Honestly, with some of these submissions, I think I need to start vetting them.
Oh god.
I'm sorry, but yeah. Like, I just got, you know, bloody car trip vibes from that particular from that video. Because me and the missus getting into an argument because bloody she's not telling me, you know, when the turns are early enough where I can actually reasonably, you know, get into the right lane to make the right turn. It's better now, like way better now. But it just, yeah, brought back some memories.
Cutlet made a funny short. Okay, here we go. All right, you know what? You're making me do it. You're making me do it. I'm looking for it. Jace is always friendly. 5 days ago. Link. Or comms.
All right. Why is it opening up like this? It's supposed to be a short. Alright. I'm gonna watch Cutlet's a short. Here we go.
Egg has been planted.
Hey, there we go. What do we got here but a space cutlet? Let's kill him.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
What's he in? He's in a Corsair.
5 minutes later.
Yeah, this is a problem with this ship. And that is an annoying noise.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're dead.
Soft death.
Oh, he didn't even, like, leave a soft death. That's kind of cringe.
Who didn't?
Oh, that's, Salty Mike.
straight up hard death. It's kind of cringe, guys.
Oh man, I would have just gone for the boarding action just for the principle of it. Soft death the ship. Salty Mike and fucking Morph is on that ship. Let's go. Be on that ship before they even get out of the chairs. Oh god.
You just, everyone has that face where you're just kind of standing, or you're just kind of sitting there in disbelief. And it's always a great privilege when we can see it happening to streamers in real time. Just that face of just like that stone face. God. The internal, like the internal battle. It's like you can see right through their head. It's crazy. Resting dumb face, yeah.
Oh man. Oh. Good times.
It's not good content. He should have boarded. Fucking.
Helping 2 players at once. That's just good multitasking. Who has the most deleted posts on Spectrum? I don't think we'd ever find out. Alright.
I mean, we could go on Spectrum and find it, but I'm pretty sure whoever it is might be on probation right now.
Yeah. So, apparently there's some people that want my hot takes on fucking the new, was it Scorpius Antares or whatever the fuck it's called? The new Scorpius variant that's coming.
Yeah, that fucking piece of shit. I want you to know, for those watching, internally we've been fucking roasting the fuck out of that ship for the past 48 hours, and with good reason.
The Bitez, yeah.
It's fucking
the
awful.
Brokius.
It's just...
Alright, here we go. So, this is my hot take on the fucking new Scorpius. Now, for starters, we fucking knew about this bloody months in advance. And, of course, you can't see it because of the fucking chat in the way, but let's see if I can zoom in on this one. Yes, I can. And it didn't help. It's still not going to help. Sorry, chat, you're disappearing for a second. Which one is it? Or YouTube chat. And YouTube stats. Fucking hell. Not my camera. There we go. Stop your target from escaping via powerful EMP generator and quantum jammer.
Quantum jammer. Crazy.
So.
We saw this and we were like, Pog! Initially.
Here's my first bugbear. What the fuck is a quantum jammer?
It's a fancy PR word that means QED, Asians. It's
yeah, but what's a QED?
It's meant to. It's a quantum enforcement device.
So why didn't they just say QED?
Because Agens, they need to drag new players in, and QED simply won't do that. They'll stare at it and think, "Oh my God, what's QED?" But if they see quantum jammer, they'll think, "Oh,
yeah, what's a quantum jammer?"
Something. Yeah.
It jams quantum. What the fuck is quantum? Oh wait, is that what's stopping the fucking development of quantum? Is that why we don't have it yet? It's being jammed by this new Scorpius variant.
Yeah, maybe that's why Tony Z's been hiding. It's because the quantum jammer exists.
It's jamming quantum. Oh my god. Anyway, this was put out when the Scorpius was first released. I think it was at IAE last year. So, quantum enforcement device is the component that is used for denoting a device that enforces, or that allows you to restrict quantum movements. QED snare and QED dampener. Those are the two different QEDs. There's no quantum jammer. There's no, like, the QED doesn't mean quantum dampener. like some people fucking think. It is literally QED, snare, QED, dampener. And I'll argue this until I go blue in the face because I've been using these fucking things since the Mantis was released. I researched the shit out of what you could actually do with it. And I made sure that I got the terminology down. So, quantum enforcement device is the component that you use to restrict movement of quantum drives.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, yeah, we're gonna jam.
Now, I normally don't do this. Actually, I think the next one's a post. Yeah, it's so this is a Twitter post because CIG tried being coy and forgot that they had fucked up last year when they announced the Scorpius. So you got this Twitter post here, and you know, like they tried teasing it, and everybody's like, "Isn't this just your Scorpius variant?" And they called it the Scorpius Antares. Apparently has something to do with the star within the Scorpius constellation.
Scorpius Antares. Antares. Yeah. Arre.
Yeah. Redesigned to house a devastating EMP device and quantum jammer. We'd like to introduce you to the RSI Scorpius Antares. And lasting legacies, like that's supposed to mean something. So, and it's coming in 318. Now, my opinion on this so far, before we go to the next screenshots, I've always maintained that for the way that Piracy works, it's a very resource-intensive task. Now, with Soft Death being introduced in 318, they kind of reduced that a bit. You don't really need distortion damage anymore. You can get away with just using lethal damage, which means that the ships that you bring along can be, you know, just generic ships with lethal weapons equipped on them. You just Soft Death a target. And the reason why Soft Death is a preferable option, I was hopeful, and, you know, like, but he made an early announcement to Mongrel Squad that, hey, we're going to continue EMP training until a whole bunch of testing was done and a whole bunch of number crunching was done. And we all came to the same conclusion, you know, like we had different groups testing it and we all came to the same conclusion. And it's, EMP is fucking useless in the next patch. For 318, EMP is a waste of time.
It's the amount of resources required to actually make EMP effective, like the amount of EMPs you need to bring to subdue a ship is excessive. And here's the thing, like I'm all for making things more difficult. Like for instance, disabling a ship with EMPs is a lot harder and requires a lot more teamwork and coordination than just shooting at it until it gets put in soft death. All right, can we all agree on that? I think we can. Now, and I'm perfectly okay with that. What I'm not okay with is increasing the resources required to pull something off and saying that it increases the skill level, because it doesn't. Increasing the resources doesn't increase the skill level. It just makes it cumbersome and excessive and not worth it at all. Let's put it into perspective. I'm actually going to find it in the... I'll read it off. Hang on a second. Yeah, let's see. For a Ginzel power plant, which is a size 3 power plant. A Ginzel power plant takes 40,000 distortion damage to shut down. And with one Warlock applying 2,750 distortion damage with a cycle time of 43.5 seconds, you won't be able to shut down that component. You will need 15 Warlocks applying 41,250 points of distortion damage to achieve shutdown. And then, once it's shut down, the power plant will turn back on in like that 5 minutes, like 305 seconds from shutdown. But again, 15 Warlocks applying that much damage.
That's 15 Warlocks all firing their EMPs at once. Now, you can get around this particular issue by using less warlocks and firing them in sequence according to a tempo. But you're literally fighting against the amount of distortion decay that the components or that the power plant is able to put out. And the problem is that EMPs just can't maintain enough distortion damage on the target long enough for it really to make tangible progress in comparison to direct distortion damage weapons. You are better off using direct distortion damage weapons because you can maintain constant pressure on the power plant, and pretty much was it size 3 repeaters and cannons have more than enough damage output per second to not only overcome the decay rate of the distortion damage, but it exceeds what the EMPs can do per second. So EMP in the next patch is useless against larger ships. Now against fighters, different story. But once again, you're looking at getting into a fight against a ship that's got an EMP. You know that they're going to, you know, unleash it, so you stay the fuck out of its range and just fight out of its range until it pops it. If you got your shields up, you'll be fine. If your shields aren't up, then, you know, you're probably going to get disabled. However, like, what I see here is a ship that I would say it's like 6 months too late, or, you know, like even 2 patches too late showing up with what it's capable of. If we got this in 3.16, I would be ecstatic. I'd be like, this is the best thing that fucking CIG ever did when it came to like a ship being put out with a EMP and QED combo. Because in 3.16, distortion damage was in a really good spot. You required skill to be able to disable a ship. You know, you had to coordinate your EMPs to fire in, you know, sequence with a specific tempo so that you could actually shut it down, keep it shut down. You'd be able to use the Antares for this. And the QED is extremely helpful. Instead of having to have, you know, like 3 EMPs and a QED, you could just have 3 Antares and it'd be fine. Because they've all got QED. However, in this case, now it's like, well, why would you bother with the EMP anymore? When direct distortion damage weapons put out more distortion damage per second than what the EMPs can. Yeah, people are like, oh, what about the QED? Well, I want to look at the stats now. Like, QED is cool, but this is one of those situations where it's like, all right, QED is only useful until the ship has stopped and you've disabled the target. After that, you don't need QED. And what I've done is I've grabbed screenshots that people have shared from the Star Citizen leaks. You know, I don't like sharing leaks too often, but they've actually got statistics here that I'd like to, you know, go over. All right, so looking at this screenshot here, let's zoom in. So first item here, we've got the SC item EMP parameters. So we're dealing with the EMP here. So we've got charge time 27 seconds, distortion damage is 2750. That's the exact same as the EMP generator on the Warlock and the Sentinel. The EMP radius is 1100 meters. The minimum EMP radius is 250. Physical radius is 1001.
I believe that extends a little bit beyond the Warlock, right? Because I think the max range on the Warlock is 970 at this time.
Yeah, it is. And then the min physical radius is 250. So for EMP and physical, I don't understand why they've got these values here. But it is what it is. Unleash time, 1.5 seconds. So that's from when you press the button to when it fires is 1.5 seconds, which is the same as the Warlock.
The same, yeah.
And the cooldown time is 22 seconds, which is slightly longer than the Warlock. $22 charge up time for a Warlock, 1.5 firing, and then 20-second cooldown. Or maybe I got those stats backwards. Anyway, what this equals is a 40, 49. So this is a 50.5 second cycle time for an EMP. So that's from when you fire it to when it cools down, charges up, and you're able to fire it again. And that's actually important to know, especially if you plan on doing any sort of EMP work on larger targets. Because knowing how much time it takes for your EMP to, you know, come back online will help inform you how many EMPs you're going to need to actually use to be able to disable a power plant or any ship component, really. Because there's a distortion decay rate, and it's more than likely that the cycle time for this particular ship, I'd have to put it through a calculator, but this particular ship, cycle time's too long, and that the distortion damage would be dissipated from a power plant, especially a size 3 power plant, in the time that it took to recharge your EMP. So if you're going to be using this, you would be focused on smaller ships. So this is like essentially a ship that's designed to go after smaller fighters. Alright, now we've got SC item quantum jammer parameters. So this is our quantum jammer because CIG doesn't like fucking naming their shit according to what other designers say. So this would have been like a technical designer that would have created this item. So jammer, we're talking about the quantum dampener because its range is 2,000 meters, max power draw doesn't matter. Green zone check range is 4,000 meters. So for those who don't know, there is an invisible green zone around every single armistice zone, the hard armistice zones in game. So if you went to like Bezdek, for example, and you had your dampener on and you flew towards the outpost, at 4,500 meters, your dampener will shut off. Now, it says here that the green zone check range is 4,000 meters, right? But that's 4,000 meters from the outer edge of the armistice zone, not from the center. So every armistice zone for an outpost has 500 meter radius around the outpost. You add the 4,000, that's your green zone range for the dampener. Alright, next one. So what we got here, quantum interdiction pulse parameters. Charge time 30 seconds, discharge time 15, cooldown time 120 seconds, radius 20 kilometers, green zone check range 30 kilometers.
That's a snare. That's a snare.
I'm not 100% sure, but this actually sounds like it charges faster. And cools down faster too. Actually, no, that's a longer cooldown. Discharge time. So when charge time, discharge time, cooldown time. Need to look at those values. Pull up the Mantis' stats.
And god damn it, you guys are gonna need it.
So what this is looking like, yeah, as you guys are pointing out, it's got the snare and the dampener. That's what it looks like for now. Next slot, actual descriptions. Alright, so they've added 2 new components, one for the QED and one for the EMP. So both made by RSI. So the quantum enforcement device is Tide Lock. It's a size 3, which doesn't really mean much to us. The Tide Lock quantum enforcement device was internally designed by RSI specifically for the Scorpius Antares, so it's a bespoke component. The carefully crafted design contains both a quantum snare for pulling crafts out of quantum travel and a quantum dampener for preventing quantum drive activation. There you go. And then the next one, Mag Strand EMP generator type burst generator, made by RSI, size 4, which is the same size as the Sentinel and the Warlock. The Mag Strand from RSI is an EMP burst generator designed specifically for the Scorpius Antares. When fully charged, the device creates a powerful wave of distortion damage that can disable electronic components within its blast radius, like every other fucking EMP. Nelson, I think you're reading too much between the lines. So, my hot take on this particular variant is, to me it comes across as a bit of a cash grab from CIG, but they're trying to at least make it a useful addition. I don't see this ship being incredibly useful for piracy at this current point in time. The EMP is not a selling point for it being a pirate ship. Purely because EMP has been inadvertently hit with a fucking nerf bat. The QED is interesting though. Especially considering how potent at combat the Scorpius is. The problem is that a portion of the potency of the Scorpius in combat comes from the turret, and what CIG has done is it's removed the turret and now you've got a QED and EMP. What I see this ship as is a solo or potentially, you know, like tandem use bounty hunter ship that is designed to go after NPCs and shit PvP players. Engage them in combat, you run your QED throughout the fight so they can't run away, which is a problem with player bounty hunters. That's a huge problem that they have to deal with. And to compensate for the lack of turret, you use the EMP. Once you got a shield, once you got their shields down, use the EMP to attempt to disable them so that you can finish them off. If you were looking to use this for piracy, the QED it makes it incredibly useful. It can defend itself better than what the Mantis can from a perspective of survivability in a fight when it's taking punishment. Because QED is one of the first ships that gets targeted in a piracy hit. They'll usually go for the QED first to try and allow them to break the snare so that they can escape. And the Mantis is pretty much made of fucking paper, and if you lose an engine, you're pretty much fucked. Whereas, yeah, with the Scorpius, we have a ship that has enough, you know, shielding and armor to be able to take a bit of damage, take a bit of heat until you know, your escorts or, you know, teammates get onto scene to help you fight off whoever's trying to destroy the QED. So I would say that if you're going to bring a Antares along, you're doing it because you're pretty concerned about the people that you're going to be fighting or that you're pirating, and you're choosing survivability of your QED asset over the speed that it needs. Because the advantage of using the Mantis is that nothing can outrun it anymore. Well, none of the ships that you would use against can outrun it. The Cutlass Blue has a lot of firepower, but it's, you know, lost its ability to, you know, use a snare. And to be honest, I look at this and it's like, well, if the fucking Scorpius is able to snare, why can't the Cutlass Blue? Like, I look at the Cutlass Blue, like that's supposed to be a, you know, security ship for interdiction, for bounty hunters. It's got the prisoner pods in the back. And they give it the dampener. And that's it. And they go, yeah, you got to close with your targets. Like, all right, well, I'm going to have to bring, like, if I want to try and, you know, ambush a bounty, they're going to see me coming a fucking mile away because I'm in a Cutlass Blue and my bloody signature is so, you know, fucking bright. Give me something that allows me to be able to snare the target, lock them in place long enough that I can close with them so that I can then disable them, board them, capture them, and then throw them in the prisoner pods. I don't see how, like, honestly, I don't see why this particular ship should be getting a snare. I could understand it having a dampener and the EMP. To me, this seems like it's supposed to be a heavy brawler. Get in nice and close, lock your target down so they can't fucking run away into quantum travel. You know, knock down their shields, then knock the ship out with an EMP, and then finish them off. Or, you know, move to soft death them, and then, you know, do your boarding action there. In my mind, the Cutlass Blue really should have that quantum enforcement device, and the Antares should have the Cutlass Blue's, you know, QED.
I think we can all agree that the Cutlass Blue is the best piracy ship.
100%.
And this fucking new Scorpius variant does not change anything in regard to the Cutlass Blue's rank in the piracy tier list. Cutlass Blue is S tier, best tier, and nothing comes close.
Yeah, like, this Scorpius is designed to fix medium and light fighters, heavy fighters as well, but like, you're not going to be using this for piracy with its current configuration. You would need a team, and to be honest, like, EMP doesn't have the appeal that it needs. I'd rather take, if I was going to take, you know, this, I'd take it on its own. And its main use would be, or its main focus would be quantum enforcement. And then I'd take regular Scorpiuses, throw turrets in the turret, you know, throw gunners in the turrets, and then, you know, go looking for, you know, ships to pirate. Patrick, yes, EMP and QED impacts everybody in your party. The Mantis' top speed is 1320 now. So yeah, like, could you use this shit for piracy? Yeah. Is it is it good for piracy? I would consider it as an option if survivability of my QED was more important than it being able to chase down every single ship in the game. That's my consideration on it. The EMP is useless because COG has made changes to how power plants handle distortion damage, and best bang for your buck if you want to apply distortion damage to a target is use direct distortion weapons. Pathogenesis asks, isn't Corsair technically a pirate ship? No. It is not technically a pirate ship. There is no such thing as a pirate ship in this game. Pirates just use ships that they need certain qualities from, certain capabilities from, and that's it. This whole notion that, yeah, this ship is only for pirates is ridiculous. Don't buy into it, because all you're doing is limiting yourself. It's just the name that they decided to call it. Corsair is just a type of pirate. Alright. I think it's important that we thoroughly analyze what CIG has done now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. I'm going to go back to the reaction scene, but there's some things that I want to share with you guys. These came from the Mongrel Squad Gilded server, and I'm pretty sure they were stolen from somewhere.
Typical pirate, you know.
But here we go. There's been some memes out there, and I like a lot of these. So the Antares gets fucking announced, and now we've got the new, the favorite. Now the dog's now being babied, and there's the mantis in the background, the cat, just sitting there, unloved.
My favorite is the Toy Story one.
Well, that might be the next one. Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn off YouTube chat and the stream stats. They're getting in the way.
Oh my god, I love memes.
Oh, I don't want to play with you anymore, Andy from Toy Story. This brings back stories. I remember watching this when I was a kid. And there's the mantis just being thrown away. I'm actually curious how many people are going to melt their fucking mantis for the Scorpius Antares. It's the next one. Oh, this is 100% true. This is probably my favorite. So we've got the Antares over here, CIG. The mantis barely keeping their head above the water. And down here, the hawk. Oh. I think I've brought this up before, but I think that the EMP on the hawk should just be fucked off, and it should just be a QED. Like, or make it a module. Make the module on the hawk so that you can either have an EMP or a QED. One or the other. Yeah, F's in chat for the hawk. Ironically, did some number crunching with EMP suppression. And with the system that CIG introduced, with the system for the way that distortion damage is handled, with the way that CIG introduced it, the hawk can outperform the Warlock when it comes to EMP suppression, based on the cycle time for applying distortion damage. Because it's so low on the Hawk, it outperforms the Warlock because you can maintain pressure now. Yeah, the Raven as well. Obviously in this case Raven is the best, but the fucking Hawk beats the Warlock. That all said though, like, the suppression time is still too long. Alright, standard bloody dude checking out the chick. I don't know if this is that accurate though. Like, I think a lot of people are a bit salty about CIG just making this new variant and going, yeah, it's got EMP and QED. Like, this is just like, this is like their marketing intern did a day with the vehicle experience team, and that intern's like the kid of some fucking executive in CIG. And the vehicle experience team is like, we don't want to lose our job, so we're just going to listen to what this kid says. And the kid's like, I like this ship, and it should have a QED and EMP. Next one. The Scorpius Antares has a QED. And then just the dampener, right? Like, that snare is only useful really if you're not doing anything near an outpost with an armistice zone. If you're near an outpost with an armistice zone, you can't use the snare and you got to use the dampener. It's not OP. You know, it's not as OP as what fucking Care Bears keep trying to make it out to be. Where does a Sentinel rank where it comes to EMP? Last. Like, it's so bad. The problem with the mechanics of how distortion damage affects ship components now, the main ones that you want to worry about is your power plant and shield generator. That's it. Shield generators have a faster cooldown now in this patch. Previous patch, for 3.17, shield generators had like 10-minute cooldowns on some of them. Some were faster. In 3.18, most of them are less than 2 minutes for the shield generators. So for EMP though, against power plants, it's a stock standard 5 minutes. It's a blanket stat. So it's, for size 1 power plants, it's 6,000 distortion damage points. Size 2 is 12. Size 3 is 40,000. And then I think size 4, which is just your bloody 890 jump, I think it's like 80,000 or maybe even more than that. I can't remember. Now, the dissipation amount of distortion, or the distortion decay, varies between the different sizes. However, the way that COG has set it up is that it's 5 minutes regardless of the size of the power plant that you disable. So size 1 power plant, once it hits its 6,000 distortion damage threshold, it's down for 5 minutes. Size 2, when it hits its 12,000, it's down for 5. Size 3, you know, same, you should get that. So, but the real influencing factor out of all of this is the amount of time or the frequency that you can apply distortion damage to the ship components now. Because distortion damage decays on components whilst the component is still online. As soon as you disable that component, distortion damage decay will continue to happen, but you can't continue applying distortion damage to it. So it'll decay without any sort of interruption when it's offline. So yeah, like you will have an easier time disabling a size 1 power plant in comparison to a size 3, not because of the amount of distortion damage required to disable them, but because of the amount of distortion damage that decays per second for those power plants. So EMPs are more useful against smaller ships than they are against larger ones. But direct distortion damage is more useful against all of them anyway, so you're better off just sticking to that if you can. Oh man. This is 100% what CIG is trying to do. 100%. Like, they're just like, Mantis? What? No, fuck off. Just buy the Antares. It's just better. EMP may be better eventually. Distortion damage changes every fucking major patch. In one way, shape, or form. Can't wait for the dropship version of the Scorpius. Why? We're getting the Scorpius DS. Oh. Mantis CIG. Antares $300 Warbond LTI. I think $300 is a bit cheap, really. Was it the regular Scorpius is oh no, it might be spot on. Because the regular Scorpius is $240. Alright, next one. I've used this one for what was it, CIG and distortion damage. Yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't say that the Mantis is useless. Like, if you want a QED that can survive better in a fight, you'd want to go for the Antares. This is probably what you're going to see a lot now. I reckon we'll see quite a few pirate crews rocking one of these. Like, I'm not opposed to using them for piracy ops. Just understanding that the EMP you're probably never going to use. Not now, anyway. No idea, Nelson. Balance changes to keep the Mantis relevant, and then they just burn it. Well, I think they would have just turned the piece of paper over and just started writing shit down about the Antares. And then the balance team, the Saber, Hawk, and now the Mantises. It's the Mantis turn. Please leave it alone. Oh man. I feel like there's going to be more memes coming out of this, and I'm okay with that. I think it needs to happen more frequently. It needs to happen more frequently. I'm not going to worry about the different weapon groups or anything like that. Like, to be honest, like, a lot of what I've spoken about is speculation, you know, based on stats that have been data mined. part of it's also based on experience. What, you know, weapon group is assigned to what key binding at this current point in time, to me, is irrelevant until we actually get it. As far as I'm aware, it's still going to be a 2-person ship, so, you know, maybe the EMP is, and QED is still, you know, is tied to having a second person, which I know for a fact that's going to piss a lot of people off. Piss us off too. It's like, well, you know, EMP is useless. What?
Agens. Something has just been brought to my attention. If you look in the general chat of the public server, we have a message from Stranger Danger, who I believe was a former prospect in this org. He says, quote, "Howdy all. I received a warning from CIG for pad ramming about a week ago. I responded and asked for details because I didn't pad ram anyone. It's a semi-long story and I made a post on Spectrum about it. I filed a new customer support request and just received a message from CIG saying that the warning was issued in error and has been removed. I wonder if Chaos Squad will get one soon too. Seems like CIG jumped the gun recently."
Cool. Like, I'm glad that that got cleared up. The fact that it took a week, though, like, to me, that seems like a huge error. Like, if you get accused of something, like, CIG should not be sending out a fucking email until they're 100% sure that it happened. Like, anything less really is just creating, like, just feeding into this, you know, essentially creating fear, uncertainty and doubt on their behalf. But I'm glad that it got sorted out for you, man. To be honest, like, maybe Captain Dirty will get a message. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe CIG just doubles down because there's a lot of noise generated about it. Who knows? So, yeah, like, I've already given my hot take on the Scorpius. QED is really useful, EMP is not. I see it more aimed at bounty hunters wanting to take down, you know, other heavy fighters down to light fighters. But outside of that,
that is CIG we're talking about here.
Yeah. No, Blake, the warning against Dirty hasn't been dropped. Not that we're aware of. It was somebody got Stranger Danger got a warning for pad ramming when he didn't, and a week later CIG sent an apology and said it was an error. Actually, no, he had to reach out to CIG and then they responded and went, "Oh, it's a mistake." Anyway, I think that's it. 4 o'clock in the morning for me. Been up for 26 hours now.
When did you receive that that warning, Chaos? Like days ago? How many days ago? I don't know if it's been like a full week yet or not. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Keep us posted if that does happen, though.
Yeah, man.
I am following this story very closely.
I think we all are. Just as a reminder, guys, this weekend is Mongrel Corps. It's on the Saturday, starting at 3 PM UTC +0. I haven't got the topic locked down for wording, but it's essentially we're going to talk about fucking your feelings on CIG's response to what happened to Captain Dirty. The whole this excessive griefing claim, your concerns about it, whatever solutions you want to propose. It's going to be an audience-based thing, so stealing Salty Mike's format for Answer the Call and pretty much introducing it for the Mongrel Court. It's not going to be every Mongrel Court, but what I wanted to talk about before this, what I wanted to talk about before this particular, shit fight that blew up was pretty much finding out what people's plans were for 318, what they were looking forward to, what they were going to engage in, if they had any concerns and all that sort of good stuff. But we're going to talk about griefing instead, because that's a lot more important. I do want to keep...
Talk about griefing. Oh,
is that
sorry.
Party Dobbs? Is that Party Dobbs?
No, sorry.
Is that Party Dobbs in the background?
I was just moving some things off of my bureau. It's fine. I'm back.
This is regular Dobbs?
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about griefing and, like your thoughts on what happened and find out, get your support on that. What?
I need to go potty. So if I do not come back before the stream ends, I would like to say thank you everybody so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. And when Agens makes his dedicated video to his response to CIG in this issue, be sure to share that, give it a like as well. Provide as much visibility on this as possible. But yes, I'm going to go potty. And if I don't see you when I get back, goodbye, and I hope you have a great day.
Bye, Dobbs. Reefer squad confirmed. 100%. I do want to try and maintain momentum on this particular topic as well. Like, as far as I'm concerned, CIG needs to fucking own up to the fuck up in one way, shape, or form. Either, ideally, when I get around to turning that part of the stream into its own independent video, we might get a response then. Depends on how many people react to it, how many people, decide to share it around, how many people actually care. I can tell you now that there's going to be a portion of the community who are, jumping for joy, and that they're happy that they're hearing about CIG doing this, and that, like, we're bothered by it because, they don't want PvP in Star Citizen at all. And whilst CIG's intent is not to remove PvP from Star Citizen, that doesn't mean that these anti-PvP community members won't try and swing whatever influence they can to reduce it as much as they want. So that's it for the stream. Next reaction stream will probably be the same time next week. If you haven't jumped on the Mongrel Squad public server, I'll grab the link for you guys. But we've got a public server for non-Mongrel Squad members to join on, so that you guys can come and suggest things for us to react to for this particular stream. If we're doing a Mongrel Court that's open to the audience, you'll need to be there as well to actually participate. And you'll also, like, if you just want to chat with us, or if you're looking at joining one of our sister orgs, all the details are on our public server, and the link to it is right there, and it's also in the description of this video. So that's it for the stream. Thank you very much for coming along, guys. I hope you're ready to be inspired. I'm signing off for the night. I will catch you all this weekend for the Mongrel Court.
Keep in mind the age-old proverb, those who unleash life, form alliances with the present. Building humanity begins with asking. You carry the potential to become a jovial slave. Try to figure out how shameful that is. Your thoughts are letting go of the floor beneath you. Try to focus on how your spirit and the infinite are deeply linked. Always enjoy pessimism. Anyone who is willing to trade a birthday for a legend deserves immortality. Focus on your breath. A wise, old warlord once approached a young princess and asked her, "How come you are so kind? You who are just a young princess?" "That is because I ensure that every person I encounter feels accepted," replied the princess. Upon hearing this, the warlord became sure that the princess had ridiculed him, and carried it with him for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he became known as the most kind warlord ever to have lived. The experience of being a wife can be a lot similar to being a dog. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes shut. Resume straightening. The experience of being a reasonable individual can be a lot similar to being in a car accident. Feel how your soul is starting to let go. Think about how a great thinker once said, "Freak out about the flawed nature of the unknown." Say to yourself repeatedly, "My being makes a difference, my being makes a difference." Remember that the universe is art exhibitions. Let yourself be guided by the very old wisdom, "Our minds end where drug rings begin." Can you feel how your testicles are connected to your flesh? Notice how your left nostril is relaxing. Keep repeating to yourself, "Being matters, being matters." A hand for a hand, a neighbor for a neighbor. We generate positivity by setting each other in motion. Entertain the idea these words of wisdom. Cravings are merely thoughts on drugs. Stay focused on your breath. Tell yourself, my being is purposeful. Say to yourself repeatedly, I'm so sacred, I'm so sacred.